So I woke up this morning not really thinking anything um, about anything really, but I woke up to my mom calling me, and the thing about having a mom that's toxic is you can know that she's toxic, but you can still feel like you want to connect with her. And so as much as like my mom is toxic, I still have many experiences um that I miss, I miss her. I do. But I just want to come here cuz I felt like I finally kind of like turned a corner a little bit with my mom, and like when I cut her off, I really thought, "Hey Elizabeth, hey, collect that check." um, but yeah, like when I said that I cut my mom off a couple weeks ago, I was genuinely attempting to do that. Like I was really trying to. But my mom is not is not the kind of narcissist that you could just get rid of. You feel me? You can't just be like done with her. Like it's just not realistic, seemingly. So we trying again. We definitely gonna try again. But yeah, my mom has been like I asked my mom a few days ago. I said, if we can't talk to each other with respect and empathy and kindness and care, like I don't think we're gonna be able to rock. I just don't think it's gonna be able to work out. And my mom was pretty much like, well, okay then. And like she took it personal. Like she took it, from what I noticed, like it seemed like she took it as like, oh, I'm telling her like we're not gonna rock, when I'm trying to give her a boundary and a standard, and she's just basically like, fuck it then. And so I was like, all right, cool, like, all right. I mean, I wasn't like, all right, cool. I was hurt that like she wasn't hearing what I was saying, but I was also like, I'm not about to like go harder to like make you understand. So I just started to feel kind of like, well, I guess like this is her walking away from me, and that's okay. I'm sad, sure, but it's okay. And so, as if, I should have known this, my mom contacts me yesterday and today. I cannot remember for the life of me what the fuck we talked about yesterday. But today, when she hit me up, bitch, she sent me a picture of herself and me when we were, I obviously would, like, she obviously was like 25, 26 years old. And I was a little baby. And I'm looking at the picture and I'm just like, what do you expect? What do you expect from me? Like, what is this picture of like a brand new me supposed to give me? Like, I look at this picture and I'm just like, damn, bitch. Like, I think all types of things that you probably don't want to hear, but I'm just like, how could you not protect me? How could you not protect yourself? How could you not look at in the mirror with me and you and like see that this is worthy of protection? Like that's all I can think. Like you're sending me this picture and I'm just like, wow, wow. And so I feel like I also have to bring this up because like I feel like this is I don't want to say self incrimination, but I just want to say that like you know I didn't realize I told my mom that I tried to kill her boyfriend that was abusing us. Like I didn't realize that I had already told her that. But I feel like she shouldn't have acted like it was whatever. Like I feel like she should have been like, I'm sorry that you felt you had to do that. But like I tried to kill this man multiple times as a minor. Like I actively tried to poison this man several times. And I'm telling my mom, I'm like, I have to like relive this in ways. Like when I meet people, like when I meet someone who I want to love, I have to be honest about where I'm coming from. I have to be honest about what's happened to me. And I wanted to murder a grown man when I was a child. Like that's not normal. Like I was trying to protect my whole family from this random man. And you went back to him. Like my mom went back to this man after years we had like been gone out of her life. Like she really felt comfortable to tell me that shit. And so, what up, Hale? And then, so I'm on the phone with my mom today, and I'm just like, you don't understand. Like, I tried to kill this man, like, multiple times. She's like, I know. I'm like, not I know. I know it's crazy. Like, if you know your child is trying to kill somebody for your benefit, for all of our benefit, it's too much. It's too much. And I feel like that's really where I'm at this moment. Is like, I wanted so badly. Cause I was thinking the whole time, like, this man, babe, I'm just like, I'm stressed because my mom keeps trying to like talk to me, and like she sent me a picture of me like when I was a baby in her arms, and I'm just staring at the picture like, and this still wasn't worth protection. Neither of us were worthy of protection. I do not know why you sent me this picture, bitch. Like, cause it's like looking at your child self and you're like, yeah, I was tiny as hell. I needed all the support I could get. Where were you? And I don't think that she thinks like that at all. And so she really was like, I'm trying. She's like, I'm so sorry. And it's just like, I I'm learning all the time that like sometimes it's beyond sorry. It's beyond that you feel terrible for what you did. It's beyond you want to work on things. It's beyond it. And I don't think my mom realizes like we're beyond that. We're beyond you apologizing to me. We're beyond you saying anything to me that's like, I like we're just beyond that. And it sucks because again, there's some of y'all out here that would, and I don't know y'all all y'all story, but I'm sure some people would be like, man, I want my mom to say sorry to me. I want her to acknowledge what had happened. My mom on the phone talking about, yeah, I know you tried to kill that man for me. Ma'am, you're too casual about my murder. Like you're too casual about my murderous ideations. Like you're too casual about it. And I can't. It's like not you knew I wanted to kill this man. Not you stop. Not this man trying to beat you up because he thought you were trying to kill him at one point and you're just like, it is what it is. I just can't do it. I love her. I do. I love her in a way that like, just never dies because obviously that's Genesis. That's where I came from. But it's like you can come from something and from somebody's womb or life and still see that it wasn't where you were meant to be. And I feel like my mom don't realize that. Like I don't feel like you deserve me. You know what I mean? Like it's just like I don't feel like you deserve or are owed me. And I just feel like dead ass, some people have kids, but they're not moms. Some people have kids, they're not mothers. Some people have kids and they're not caretakers. Like there's people that have kids all the time and they're not doing shit for them kids because they never learned how because nobody ever did shit for them. And I really feel like my mom's life compared to mine completely different. The standards for her life completely different. And I'm over here talking to my mom, telling her some shit, and she had the nerve to say, I regret having Dawn in our lives. She's like, but if I redid my life, I don't know who would all be here. Bitch, that's the wrong motherfucking thing to say. That's the wrong fucking thing to say. We talking about motherfucking manslaughter, sweetie. And you talking about if I was to do it all over. Sweetie, you can't do it all over. So the best thing you can do is say, I wish I would have helped you kill that man. That's the only thing that I feel like is acceptable for a mother to tell a daughter who was in an abusive relationship with a man that ruined everybody's life. Like the only thing you can really say that I'm gonna feel is I wish I would have helped you kill this man. I wish we would have been successful together. That's the only thing I would have accepted from her. But the reality is that's not who she is. Like she actually, like she says, if I could do it all over again, but you can't. So that's why I'm telling you what I'm telling you. You can't go backwards. We can't go backwards. We're never gonna go backwards. And also, this man's still alive. This man's still living his life. Like this man's still doing whatever the fuck he want to do for himself. And to be honest, I don't want to look too deeply into this man because I don't really care what he's up to. But it's like my mom, my mom really thinks that he's just one mistake, and it's like no, bitch, he's the mistake. Like I'm sorry to tell you that, but she over here trying to regret everything. I'm like, nah, bitch, your life wasn't that bad until you started dealing with that man. And maybe she feel differently. It is her life after all. But from a child perspective, I'm just like, bitch, you had things. Like you had a life. And then she had the nerve to pop out and be like, oh, well, my kids will be acting crazy. So I needed somebody to help discipline them. Bitch. There's just something about a white woman telling me that me and my brothers were too rowdy and that she needed to find a black man to beat us. Like, I just feel like there's just something about that that don't sit right with me. So I'm not going to let it sit right with me. I'm gonna just keep on holding that it don't sit right with me. I'm gonna just move on from that. But like I said, I've been trying to cut this bitch off for how long? And like it'd be hard because shit like this, like she calling me 9 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, want to tell me she's sorry. But in the end, she not really that sorry. Like in the end, she's like, well, because like what I got from, oh, I don't know who would all be here if I redid my life. I feel like she's trying to tell me I don't think I would have had kids. I don't think I would have had kids. Bitch, you having kids wasn't the issue. Maybe to you, you think that, but you having children wasn't the issue to me. It was you allowing a random man that you didn't have children with to harm your kids. Like, I'm not saying if she had kids with this man, it would be better, but this man had his own 3 children and you took them into your home. Like, a lot of things happened to me and my youngest brother because she brought his sons into our house. And she was not a good caretaker already. She already wasn't an attentive parent already. So you already aren't paying attention to your 3. Now you got 6 kids you barely taking care of. I just and my mom had the nerve. My mom just be blaming me for shit that I didn't do when I was a kid. Also, there were things that happened to me as a kid that my mom want to rewrite history on, and it's just like, what am I getting from this relationship? That's why it's like, babe, I really actually have to block her number. Like, I was thinking that I was just, I could just say that I'm done on her, not answer her call. But it's like even her calling me makes me feel like I should answer and say something, when really after what I've said to y'all, what is there more to say? Like, if your child is at a point where they're willing to kill somebody to protect you, that's crazy. Like, I'm not trying to fucking trigger anybody, but it's like, that's crazy as hell. Like, I didn't even really remember that I had did that. Like, I thought it was like a funny thing, a funny story, but it's like, no, I actually really tried to kill this man for my life. Like, I knew my life was about to be bad. Like, I knew he was not a good man. Like, we knew. We knew. We all knew. And my mom just kept on fucking with him. And it's just like, at what point? Like, at what point? Like, I just feel like I have to actively cut her off. And, like, it's beyond, like, just being like, it's beyond that. Like, I have to actively, like, block her. I have to delete all the texts. Like, I have to delete everything because I can't, like, I can't be dealing with somebody who thinks that it's like okay for me to have wanted to be a killer. You're like, for protection. Like, she really was just like, oh, I know that you did that. Like it was whatever. Like, it don't matter. And I'm just like, that's not right. That's not right. And my mom don't get it. Like, she'll never get it. She'll never have to go through that. Like, she'll never have to go through that. I appreciate you, Corey. And that's the thing. Like, they be killing you, they be hurting you, they be harming you, and then like you look like, oop, I had to make sure my titty wasn't out. I was like, hold on. But it's hot up in here. But no, like they really cause you harm, and then they act like you're doing the thing, like you're causing the harm, you're doing all of this. Like, no, bitch, I didn't do any of this actually. But no, like I said, like I'm just not about to be gaslit by her anymore. Like, I'm not about to be like, oh, everything's fine. Like, it's not. Like, I'm actually really distressed, and I was trying to tell my mom, I was like, anytime I meet someone or I want to love someone deeply, like, I have to be candid about how I've been abused. I've been through all this shit. And my mom was just like, she's like, anyways. And it's just like, bitch, like, you don't understand. Like, that actually changes how people love you and like you. Like, and I wish they would realize that, but that's not for me to carry. But the narc parents be really acting like, oh, you'll get over it. And it's like, I actually won't. I'm actually really traumatized, babes. Like, I ain't never wanted to kill nobody for real, but that man, I was willing to go. I was willing to go to prison, bitch. Like, I really didn't, I didn't see a future for my life that included this man being alive. I just didn't. I was like, oh yeah, like my life gonna get worse. Like, I can already feel it. I appreciate y'all for just hearing me. Like, I'm sorry for coming here and like stressing anybody out if I did. I'm not in any danger. Like, in fact, I'm in the safest place that I could be, feeling the feelings that I'm feeling. But being around my mom in any space, like, it's just wild. It's like, how could you send a picture of your baby to your baby that you didn't protect? Like, that's just so sick to me. Like, I really worry for her because it's like, what is this picture supposed to make me feel? Like, I just kept looking at the picture and being like, damn, bitch, you really are Caucasian. Like, and like, I mean no shade when I say this, but I just feel like my mom, like, holding me at 26 years old and I'm looking at her face, I'm like, baby, you look white as fuck. Like, you look like a very white lady. But I feel like the older my mom got, the more she started to, like, appropriate hairstyle and, like, just code herself a particular way. And, like, it just, it just blows me because it's like, damn, lady. Like, I just feel like some of the shit that I was noticing, I was just like, man, I'm a whole accessory. Like, I'm not even a person. Like, I don't even get to be a full human. Yes, Corey, say that. Conditional love. Conditional love, bitch. Oh my god. Literally. Like, that's what I'm thinking about right now. It's like, fuck. And I want to tell y'all about something, but like, it was such a nothing, but it does mean something. I feel like in retrospect, but like I was entertaining somebody slightly, and like I don't want to cry, but it was like they were the most like just gentlemanly person I have met in a while, and they were literally like they were a child. Like I would just keep it a bug. They're 25. I'm 34, so like I don't know what I was expecting. But it felt so bizarre like to be hanging out with someone that much younger than me because I could tell, and this is gonna sound how it sounds, I could tell he's been reading and listening to women, like just the things he was bringing up, the things that he was saying, the way that he was like very anxious to make me uncomfortable, and it was just kind of like, damn, like I love it, but I'm also like, it's a fetus. Like I'm so sorry. Like I feel like I like there's this woman that I follow that was like, oh, date younger men, da 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 da, and I never do. So I'm like, oh, like I'll see what up with the 28s. I feel like the 28s is where I was trying to be at, but I was like, honestly, he came to me, but I was just like, okay, and in retrospect, like nothing happened. Like we kissed, and yeah, I couldn't because I just was like, you are a child, like you are a young man. Like I just felt like I just have never felt the way that I felt before, where I was like, wow, like you're definitely gonna make somebody happy, not me. Like I could see like you got a good gentlemanly spirit or whatever, but yeah, no, like I feel like I would be an experiment for you. And I don't want that to be that because he wouldn't be an experiment for me. But when I started dealing with him, I was just like, oh, wow, like, he is very nice. Like, he a very nice man. But I was just like, damn, like, I've never met a man over 30s who acts like this. And I probably never will. But it was just kind of fucking me up because I was just like, damn, like, I wonder who you become. Like, I wonder, like, when you cross that 30s threshold, like, will you maintain this? Because it just felt like, I don't know. It just like there was a part of me that felt like I had to talk to him different because I was just like, I'm not trying to fuck him up because it's just like, bitch, like you ever just meet somebody and you feel like they still have their like they still have a little bit. of, I don't know what to call it. Like I felt like he wasn't jaded. Like I felt like he wasn't like, I hate women. Women are all the same. I never got that vibe. And sometimes you could get that vibe from a man. Like he'll say something, you'll be like, oh damn, you hate women. Like I've heard men say things like, or even in their bio will be like, be a grown woman, don't be no little ass girl out here. And it's like, I'm not swiping on you. And so even if it's an act, because like I don't truly believe you know anybody, especially a man, until 3 months have passed. Like I feel like in 3 months you'll really know something. But I was just like, damn, like your energy, like is this what the 20s girls are getting? You know what I mean? I'm like, I hope so. But then again, there's a part of me that's like, maybe he was just performing because I'm older than him and he was trying to seem mature. You know what I mean? Like, there's moments where I was just like, what is really happening? But like I said, after we kissed, I was just kind of like, I can't. Because, like, I could just tell, like, you don't know anything. Like, I could just tell, like, he was touching me, like, he was trying to, like, put his hand, and I could just tell he was so scared. I was like, oh, baby, the pandemic, high value man aesthetic, all these incels. Like, I don't know who's fucking with you. I don't know who's fucking with you. But I'm just like, I know. I could tell, like, you're still learning. And, like, I don't want to stop that for you. I want you to keep on going. Yes, no contact, hard as hell. Yes, haven't been jaded by life. Listen, I just want to apologize if I stress anybody out and make them feel triggered and feel fucked up and like worried for me. Because I don't want y'all to be worried for me at all. I really don't. I don't come here for y'all to be worried. But I do come here to try to break silence about shit that is frustrating and hard and scary and stuff that I know other people may be going through as well. With that being said, though, yeah, I could just tell he hasn't been jaded by life. He still has a lot of life in him. Also, he has a Aries and an Aquarius stellium. I don't know, bitch. Like, I would be real. Even though I broke up with him, like, because I basically told him, I was like, hey, we're not a match. Because again, I feel like for me, the other thing is he hasn't lived. And that's why he can't talk about shit. Like, we be having conversations or whatever. Right, that's what I'm saying. Like he, like for being 25, I'm very impressed. And I told him, I was like, I'm very impressed by you. Like the way you communicate, the way that you move, like it's delicious. And I was like, I think you're perfect, but like we just don't have good conversation, and I feel understimulated with you. And he was like, nobody's perfect. Stop that. He was like, I appreciate you for saying that, but I have things to work on. He's like, everybody does. And I'm like, not you taking this rejection so healthy. Like, not you saying you're not perfect, but you appreciate it. Like, I'm just like, babe, like I said, him and I, we had a vibe for sure. But I really hate to say this. I feel like I could see him being perfect for somebody else. Like, and I hate when you feel that. Like, I've felt that before. It's hard to hold when you're like, damn, you are so great, but not for me. Like, this is not for me, but you are really a wonderful guy. You know what I mean? Like, he's very wonderful, and I really hope that he do find some real love out there for real, because he was just such a gentleman and just so mindful. Like, sweetie, we linked twice, and the first time, I feel like 9 years is way too young. Absolutely. I'm like, don't give me 10, bitch. It's 9. But anyways, he fucking I feel like the first time we met up, we did like a bonfire, and like the whole point was to have a good conversation, and like he spent most of the time just like listening to me. I know I was talking a lot, but because he wasn't talking, bitch, I felt like I had to say something. And then like he kept on like inching closer to me and trying to hold my hand. Like he was very physical. Like he clearly wanted to be like intimate, but there was no communication. And I even told him before we linked up, I'm like, ooh, we barely spoke for real. I feel like I carried this convo. So there were two different moments where I was like, eh, the conversation, it's not giving anything. And his energy was like, I can try harder. Like he literally told me that. Like when I told him like, you're great, but I don't think this is it. He's like, I could try harder. And I was like, I appreciate you for saying that. Like again, I never had no man tell me he could try harder. to be better for me. Like, that's what I mean. I'm like, bitch. But my thought process is this: try harder at what? Liking me? Like, I just feel like, sweetie, like, try harder at showing interest. Right, right, right. He was a sweet little muffin. Like, it made me so sad. I was like, when do men change from this? Cause you seem like such a good dude, like so like well behaved. Like the second time, like bitch, the first time we linked, I thought I had marshmallows for s'mores and they were hard as rocks. The second time we linked, we were not doing a bonfire. He still brought me a bag of marshmallows. Cause he knows I like s'mores. And I didn't get to s'more the day before. But again, I still had to ghost on, not ghost, but I still had to be like, listen, because again, we're not having good conversation. And I know it's because what do he got to talk about? But I shouldn't say that because, bitch, I feel like there's a lot of emotional backstory there. That's also why I'm going to come in full circle. Because I'm telling my mom, like, do you understand? I have to tell people. I was like, I have to tell people what happened to me. And that changes how they see me. Like, it changes how they connect with me. I was like, you don't understand. Like I have to reveal something that's so terrible. And like people will maybe like feel bad for me and that's why they're like connecting with me. Not cuz they genuinely are like, "Damn, like, you didn't deserve that. I'm going to hold this." You know what I mean? Some people can't hold that for you. Like they'll just be like, "Oh, you're damaged." And so I just feel like I see like just from his behavior, like he's got a story too. And that's why I like didn't want to be like and be like, "Oh, you're not my type." Like I was just like, I just really need a lot of stimulation. I need someone who's really chatty. Like I just need someone who's like more. And he was like, "I could try harder," but he's like, "I respect what you're saying," and it was just like. And again, I don't know this man. That could have been game, right? Could have been game, but it's like, when do you tell these men that it's not hitting? Like I'm not even being mean to him. I'm just like, hey, I just require a little bit more communication, a little bit more energy. And he's like, I could try harder. I'm just like, men do not even be saying that shit. Like, they be like, oh, word, fuck you, bitch. Like, they be like, what? Like, I had this one dude, like, get really mad because I'm over here coming up with ideas that I want to do or whatever. And he's just like, yeah, I'm really just trying to give you some dick. I was like, no, thank you. And then he's like, wow. Like, he was really mad that I'm like, I don't want just some dick. Thank you, though. And then, like, wanted to fight with me about it and then wanted to be an asshole. And it's like a grown man. And when I say a grown man, I just mean over 30. Because I feel like the 20s is really just, it's 13th grade. You know what I mean? Like, real talk, 20s is 13th grade. We don't talk about it enough, but 20s is 13th grade. Word, word, and see that's what also what I'm saying is like we don't always get to be honest with people and be gracious at the same time. I gotta go blow my nose again. Maybe all my tissues is gone. All my tissues is gone. But yeah, we're about to. Are we about to go? Are we? Is this true? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I actually need to like do some shit today, but are we doing shit today? No, not yet. Fuck. I don't think anyone's here. Oh shit. Not your 29 in hell. Baby, so was my friend. I have a friend who's 29 who recently told me that it's dead out here. Like me and my friend actually cried yesterday. We actually cried about how we feel that we're not finding love. Like we just feel it. And it just sucks because it's like, bitch, I'm not trying to be dramatic and make it seem like we gotta find love. Or else. Oh, you cried too? Hey, Akasha Beauty. Oh, what you crying about? Feel free to tell a bitch. Good morning, friend. Word. And that's, listen, y'all are fucking real. Y'all are real as fuck. This is my smoking hack. This is how I can smoke and not be cold outside. I'm so smart. I'm so smart. Ooh, in the rain. Ooh, bitch. And you know what? I had a friend that was telling me, like, oh, but you've been in relationships before. And it's like, bitch, you know what? I'm not even trying to be shitty when I say this, but I have to sit with, like, the reality that, like, sure, like, it was easy to, like, be with me. But like I feel like even saying that is not true. Like I'm not trying to go backwards and outthink my relationships in the past. But there is a part of me that's just like sitting with the reality that, you know, my first partner, like I'm pretty sure he was just lonely, bitch, and he just wanted to be with somebody, period. I don't think it was about me. And honestly, the more that I think about things that he said to me, things that I've had, I'm just like, yeah, I feel like I was just there. I was just there. I was just there. And like also like the ways that he was using me to show other people that he could get love, that he could be loved. Like I didn't think about that. But in retrospect, when I think about things he said to people, the things that he was, the way he would show me off, the way he would brag on me, it's like, damn bitch, like it wasn't about me. It was about how I looked. It was about like what I communicated to other men, you know? And it's just like, fuck, I was a pretty bird. Like, I feel like there's times where you have to sit with the fact that you was a pretty bird, bitch, on some real shit. That you were not a full person. Akasha. Yes. Yes. Listen, I'm glad. I'm proud of y'all. Oh, damn, hell. Damn, hell. That shit is scary as hell. Like, and that's the thing too, is like being with somebody or like finding love, like it's so exciting. Like meeting somebody and like thinking that like y'all are gonna be something, like that's so exciting. So there's just a part of me that's just like, I feel like when I think about all my relationships, I'm just like, damn, I wasn't always in the room and I didn't even think about it. I didn't even care. I just wanted to be loved. And it's now, like I had a breakdown like the other day where I was just like, I met the nicest man, but he still was not it. Like he wanted so badly to work harder for my affection, but I didn't care because I just knew like this isn't it. And in ways it feels good to know like, you know, I have standards. But on the other hand, it's like damn, they were low as fuck before, and that's why I was so that's why I was so like in the mix because I didn't have standards. Ooh yeah. And I feel like as I try my best to unlearn, I have to hold ways that I wasn't really with these people either. Like my first partner, Christopher, not Christopher, Andrew. Bitch, I needed money. I needed stability. I needed a family. I needed a father. Like, I really feel like that man was like operating like my parent. And like in retrospect, I didn't see it. I didn't see it like that until I'm older. And I'm like, that man was acting like a father. And that is why our relationship was the way it was, because he didn't see me as a woman. He saw me as a little girl. Hell. Hell, I feel like we in the same AA meeting group. I feel like we in the same Love Addicts Anonymous group or some shit, bitch. Like, I feel like we in this same group, bitch. Like, we need to listen. You be my sponsor, I'll be yours, cause yeah, unlearning, accepting like crumbs. And I feel like that's the other thing too, is like when you're in a relationship, people think you're getting more than crumbs. Like when it seems like you're in a relationship or you're romantically connected, like people are like, look at what you're going through. Cause like the person I've been talking to most recently, my friend Mara, hey baby, if you're here, she would be like, girl, you've been in relationships though. And it's like, I have, but I also have to hold what I was to those people and what they were to me. Cause when I really think back to it, I wasn't. You funny as hell. I appreciate you. But yeah, no, I really am trying to sit with like loneliness. Cause it's okay to be lonely. It's okay to feel loneliness. Like I promise you, I know it sucks, but it's okay to feel it. And honestly, if you don't feel it, you might fuck around and think that you don't feel it no more because you standing with somebody or you fucking with somebody or you entertaining all these other things in your life. Like if you don't accept loneliness, like you will really try to fight it all the time. And it's like sometimes you really are lonely. Like when I'm here, like this weekend was real hard for me because I really thought I thought I was gonna romantically connect with this man and I didn't. And then I felt fucked up about it. But then I was like, wait, we could still be friends. We could still know each other. I could still wish the best for him. I don't think he a bad guy. In fact, I hope that he continues to be the guy that I met. I hope that he meets someone who wants that. I hope he finds someone that maybe isn't as communicative as him and they have little, little side comments with each other or whatever the fuck. I don't know. But like I just feel like I've changed from feeling like, damn, you're not what I want or I need. Get out of here. Like now I'm just like, but I still see you. I see you completely. And I'm grateful to have met you. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like I didn't value my ex-partners in a particular way because I wasn't seeing them fully. That don't happen all the time. Like some people really just keep on like loving people for the little pieces of them. And I feel like that's what I was doing. I feel like I loved how Andrew took care of me. Like I loved like how much he made me feel like I was getting the parental love that I needed, that I didn't get, that I could never get. Like, and I feel like some of us may have to sit with that like our parents didn't treat us a certain way. And now romantic love don't even get to live in our life because we so want that familial love that we'll do anything to get that. And what I mean is like you'll entertain relationships where like there's an imbalance that like is so obvious. And like I see it more now. Like I see a lot of people looking for romantic love in a connection that is only offering them familial love. And it's like, damn, babe. I see you though. And I don't think anybody is bad for that. I just think like it's a real thing. Like that I'm seeing now. Like I didn't see it before. But as I heal my inner child, bitch, as my inner child and me start to link up and actually connect, and I stop trying to fight with this bitch because I think that she's ruining my life, and I try to hold that like her life was ruined. So she don't really care. Like when your inner child don't really get what she needs, like she don't really care about the adult you getting your adult needs met. Like she's still fighting for that. That love that like you think you can only get from parents. And like sometimes your friends can give it to you, sometimes you can give it to yourself. But the romantic love that you crave, you may not even be able to accept. And that's hard to hold, but it's true. Yes, yes. And I feel you on that too, hell yeah, because like there's so many things that you don't say because as soon as you say it, it just feels like you have all the power to destroy everything. But the reality is the power is over you. But you think that by you speaking you're going to ruin things when it's like, baby, it's already ruined. It's already ruined. You can't destroy it. It's already destroyed. but you are trying to keep up the illusion that things are okay, and are only you think that shit. Only you see that shit. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm also like always thinking like that people hate me and like that they're mad at me. Like I'm always feeling that, and I feel like that's again my inner child shit, just feeling like I'm annoying, I'm bothersome. Like those are things that I carry from childhood that do impact how the fuck I'm going to be loved by anybody else. And I had to sit with myself and ask myself like, talking to your mom, like, what are you feeling? What are you experiencing? And it's like, bitch, I'm crying, I'm feeling scared, I'm feeling worried. Like, I'm feeling all these feelings just from talking to her. And her saying sorry to me didn't mean shit. Cause it's like, you're not really sorry. Like, you feel bad that you have to deal with this conversation. Like, like you just start to realize, like, some people sorry, not really sorry. They don't really care, babe. They're saying whatever they gotta say to move on. And that's why I can't fuck with her, because there ain't no moving on for me. I'll never move on. Like my mom put me through so much, I wanted to become a murderer. Like, that's not a normal experience. And I have to stop acting like internally, like I can just get over that. I can't. Because when I talk to my mom, I have to talk to the woman that didn't think it was that deep. Like, she knew I was poisoning him. She knew I was poisoning him. One time he beat her because he thought she was poisoning him. And she told me straight up, stop poisoning him. No, I never stopped. Because, bitch, I wanted him dead. And I feel like, with that being said, not on some Gypsy Rose, but babe, like, I just don't think that parents realize, like, when you put your kids through certain shit, like, there's no coming back. You know? Like, there's no coming back. That's why I can't watch this Christian and Blueface shit. What they're putting them babies through, they're not coming back. Those babies are going to never forget. I mean, he knew I was trying to kill him. Oh no, he never died, bitch. I was a child. I didn't know what else to do. I was using Windex. I thought Windex would get him. It's not my fault that Windex not that powerful, bitch. I just didn't realize, like, I needed to use bleach. I was a child, you know? I didn't know spell 101, bitch, but I was putting intention in the mashed potatoes, bitch. I was putting intentions in that Windex, bitch. It ain't work. You right, hell yeah. Right, it might annoy you, but it'll kill me, yes. Coolant. You know what, Jennifer? Where were you? I was like that. I just feel like my mom will never be able to understand that as a minor, I was okay with taking a body. I was okay with taking a life because I saw him stealing all of ours. And my mom literally didn't care. And again, like the things I would do to him, the things I would try to do to like kill his ass. And my mom would catch the shit and I'll feel bad, but I'll be like, I got him next time, bitch. Don't worry, like just a little bit more Windex in that mashed potatoes, bitch. He would have been gone, bitch. Like that's what I kept thinking. I just kept upping the Windex. Oh, absolutely. Nah, like my mom not a good person. It's sad, but it's true. She not a good person. She not very loving. She wanna be. She do. I see it. But I just feel like I've already been transformed by abuse. So I don't think she realizes that like my mom really tried to talk shit about my little brother to me. She's like, Cause I was like, I was like, I don't think you understand, but like, I just don't even have a family. Like, I don't have my brothers. I don't have a family. I don't have anything. So I don't know what your sorry means to me at this point. Cause I lost everything. Like, I knew I would as a child. I knew I was losing things. And I was trying so hard to save them, and it didn't work. And she was like, oh, your brother don't talk to nobody unless you got money for him. It's sad. I was like, bitch, I wouldn't talk to you neither. The fuck? Like, my little brother is 7 years younger than me, and he did not have any good times to remember. I tried to kill that man for the good times I experienced. Like, I tried to kill him for the life that I saw leaving. My brother only knows the bad life. So yeah, all he cares about is money now. Yeah. That's all he could care about is money. That's all he got. That's all he sees as worth. Like, she don't get it. Like, she's still not getting it. Like, she trying to really talk about her youngest child or her oldest child, who she honestly don't even hold as a full-blown, like, babe, the sociopathy that you have to be at to be like, I gotta kill this man. I'm sorry, but that's not normal. I'm not saying it's not normal to want to kill someone who's abusing you. I think that's very normal. But it's not normal to be trying to poison somebody as a child. That's not normal. Exactly. She don't see it. She don't understand. Like, she trying to talk shit about people, and it's like, sweetie, you did that too. That's why he don't care about you unless you call him with money. Free Gypsy Rose. I know she's out, but I'm just saying, bitch. Like, I just feel like people don't get it. Like, when you're a child and you're willing to kill, like, that means that you're not good. It means you're not good. Like, people don't want to talk about that, but all the murders I be seeing on TikTok, all these young killers, it's like, how do you think they learned that? They went through something real fucked up, and they didn't think it was worth it to preserve life. Like, hello, I'm glad I'm not there now. But I do remember, like, losing my fucking empathy and humanity, for sure. Yes, that man ate at least 3 bottles of Windex his entire life, living around me and my mom. At least 3 full bottles. And my mom would serve him first, bitch, so I had to be quick. I had to be quick mixing the mashes. And no, I didn't poison nobody else. But if she ate off his plate, she might have got a little bit of poisoning herself. And you know what? That has nothing to do with me. Honestly. That's how I feel. That's how I feel too. But I just feel like I see my mom so clearly as a pick-me, bitch. And I'm grateful for all the women that do the work to talk about these women and talk about their experiences. Like, I'm grateful for women that break silence about male-identified women. I'm grateful for the women that make it out of those houses, bitch. Damn, Visine. Everybody in my family had good eyes, bitch. We ain't never had no Visine, bitch. Trust me, the Windex warning bottle had me like, all right. Keep out of the body, keep out of the mouth. I'm gonna put it right there. Exactly. I don't expect anyone to understand, cause like, as an adult, I understand how much you have to go through to get there. But I don't expect anybody to understand that I was like wanting to kill this man. Like, that's terrible. It's terrible. I'm healed enough to know that that wasn't a good thing to be feeling. However, as you were saying, like, given the situation of the household, what else was I gonna be? Like, I felt like I was either gonna be a victim of abuse or I was going to be successful in being someone who liberated my family. That's how I was thinking about it. I was like, bitch, I watched a lot of Law and Order SVU. I watched a lot of court shows and shit with my mom. So my thought process was, bitch, I have motive to kill this man based on abuse. Like, in my mind, I'm thinking that I'm justified because he's harming me to the point. He's harming me so much that I'm thinking, like, I should be able to kill him. And, like, it's okay. Like, That's how I felt. Like, and I just don't think that anybody thinks about how low standards have to get before you feel justified in a murder, in manslaughter. I don't think people think about like what has to happen for a child to be like, yeah, God will forgive me. Because that's another thing too. It's like I ended up, I was in church. Like I was very much in church, and very much yikes, and constantly being told like turn the other cheek, and if people harm you, do something else. Like if people cause you harm, don't think about it. Pray to God. And I think about how like not everybody can wait for God. Not everybody can wait for some divine religious intervention that, should be what saves our lives. And I think that that's really what I'm talking about. What I'm trying to get at is that, at some point, I really thought, God sees this, right? You know what I mean? Like, God must be seeing this. And he can't possibly think that this is what I deserve. And it's reasonable. And so because I felt that, I was like, well, it must be reasonable also that I want to kill him. It must be reasonable what he's done based on what he's done to me. That like I should be able to get my lick back for my whole family line. So that's really where I was at. But again, I want to say this, and I mean this so genuinely, that like we all don't get to live in a situation where like reasonable shit is happening to us. And so I do want to say that Christianity, unfortunately, does offer. Okay, sorry, I just want to make sure I'm charging. Um, so Christianity offers us a way to think about harming people that allows us to get away with it, and I think about that too, like how people use Christianity to beat kids. Like people use their connection to Christianity to say like this child deserves to get beat or this child deserves harm, and then they beat their kids or they harm their kids. And I think about how like that's where I was as well, where I was like based on what's happening I should be able to beat this man or harm him in a particular way. I shouldn't have to keep on dealing with this man. My family shouldn't have to keep on dealing with this man. Like that's really what I was thinking. And so again, like I'm glad that I didn't become a killer. Like I'm glad that that wasn't the story that I had to like live through. But I still have that on my spirit that I was in a situation that was so fucking crazy that I really thought about killing a man. And my mom knows about it. Like my mom saying that she knows I was trying to poison him, in the way she said it just fucked me up, cuz I'm just like, bitch, not you know. Not you know. Like that's not what you're supposed to fucking say. And so I just again like I see how much I wasn't protected by my family, and I know that that's not a good thing for me. Like I know that I'm not supposed to be feeling that, and thinking that that makes sense. Yes. Yes. Right. Now you would have rolled for me like Gypsy. I'm fucking crying, bitch. I still see people saying that Gypsy was a killer. And Gypsy is like, I am a murderer, and I'm just kind of dead because it's like, man, like I didn't watch the Gypsy Rose story all the way because like that shit's triggering as fuck. Like I just feel like it's just so hard to see shit like that. Like it's so hard, bitch, because it's like, what's the point, sweets? Like, why did you bring this girl here? Why did you put her through all this? You know what I mean? Like that's what I think about. I'm like, what was you thinking? Like, why did she have to go through that? And like the mom just like it's clear in retrospect, the mom loved the attention. She loved to be seen as a good mother, and like just the ways that the world we live in don't offer women that much. And so some women really only have in their mind is like one day I'm gonna get to control another woman. One day I'm gonna get to control another life. And unfortunately, I believe patriarchy enables it, because patriarchy tells us that we're not really ours. Like, I never felt like my own. I always felt like I was, you know, whatever my mother put me through, whatever my family put me into, like that's what I was. And so, becoming and saying like who you are. What up, Max? I hope you're doing well. Naming yourself, claiming yourself. I also think that's why I was like very afraid to be my full gay self. Like, I just was like so convinced that like I'm going to hell. Like I already tried to kill my fucking mom's boyfriend. Like, I already tried to do all these things. I already tried to like get out of, trauma. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to hell. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm already going to hell. And so, just the ways that, like, being queer was, like, taught to me as, like, a negative thing. Like, I remember my mom's boyfriend took me, like, to, I'll never forget this. So, like, my mom asked my mom's boyfriend to babysit us, and this man took us to a soup kitchen. I'll never forget that shit. Like, he took us to a soup kitchen to kick it with a bunch of people that he clearly knew, and like it was a lot of like fucking non-black people, and there was this one black woman who I'm going to assume that she was a queer person, because I'm pretty sure she was with this other queer person, and we were all hanging out, and like again, I'm at a fucking soup kitchen, like bitch, and again, I only know this because like I am an observant child, but like he's supposed to be taking care of us, and he just had us like on the Ave. Like he literally took us like to like the next major town and had us like on the Ave, did not buy us any food, like made us eat at the soup kitchen, with people that he like I guess used to know from like being on the street or whatever the fuck. I don't fucking know. But it was awkward because like he was clearly like hanging out with his friends and also being able to like take care of these children that he clearly didn't want to care for. And then I'm sitting in between like this like lesbian couple, I believe, and like he started to like make me feel like I was like being weird, like for being around them, and started trying to make it seem like, oh, like don't be sitting over there, like don't be like, and like was trying to like insinuate something was going on. And like at the time, like I'm like just happy to be around these older queers who are just talking shit. Like I just remember them just being like really like silly and funny, and just like just being themselves, and I was just like, word, I love this. Like, I love being around them. um Not even, no, not to work. Like, he took us to eat at the soup kitchen like it was a restaurant, swear. Like, he made it seem like he was taking us out to eat. Like, he's like, let's go to lunch. Like, he said he's taking us to lunch, bitch. And I'm like noticing like we're like bringing these trays to this like window, and there's all these houseless people there. And again, I'm not like trying to talk shit about the offerings. I'm just saying like he was supposed to like be our caretaker that day. I think my mom had to go to court or some shit like that, and so he had us for the whole day. And he's not a chef. Like whenever he had to cook for us, it would be nasty. He does not know how to cook. So he literally took us to a soup kitchen to feed us lunch instead of like cooking or buying us McDonald's, or you know what I mean? Like, this was not a good man, you guys. Not a good man. Not a good man. And my mom's justification for keeping him around was that she had, and again, like this is like another like racially coded thing, but my mom really felt like, from what she's saying, I'm just one white passing woman. How could I care for all of these brown children that were acting so crazy? And I was like, Tammy, your children needed IEPs. Your children needed accommodations. They're all on the spectrum. Like the way you're talking about your children, like as if they were like burdens, like to be beaten. Like it's just so sad. And it's like I'm talking to my mom clearly from the future, bitch, because she's over here in the past where she thinks it's reasonable to let a man, yo, this man really took us to go get fucking free soup. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not like that's, and I appreciate you for saying that, Anthony, because like I totally, that's why I'm disgusted in him. Like, we had like we were poor, but we weren't that damn poor. There was food in the house always, bitch. Like, he just don't know how to cook, and he didn't want to spend no money clearly on buying three children lunch. So he took us to a soup kitchen, and it was awkward as fuck because it's like he not our dad. And the people that are there with us know that that's not our fucking dad. Like people that are with us know that that's like a random fucking man. So, or like my mom's boyfriend or whatever. And like he was trying to claim my littlest brother, the most white passing one, which was funny as fuck to me. Like, I just feel like, you know what? Enjoy that. Like, I'm glad. I never wanted to be his child. I never wanted him to like me in that way. I never felt that. Like when I first met him, he like gave me like a Cabbage Patch doll because like my mom told him I was into them or whatever. And I'll never forget, it was Valentine's Day. He like brought me a Valentine's Day gift, and he like obviously brought one for my mom too. And that was supposed to make me like him. But like he was a bum. Also, he was a Taurus. I want to put that out there. I don't know all his signs or whatever, but his sun sign was Taurus. And so he was very like, oh my god, like just loud and fucking would just get mad, like, and would just feel like his anger was justified. Like, I'll never forget, like, one time he thought my mom was trying to poison him, and I knew it was me, bitch. And he kept being like, why are the mashed potatoes blue? Why are the mashed potatoes blue? And in my head, I'm like, oh shit, like, I just got caught trying to kill this man, bitch. I knew I was getting beat. I was like, damn, I'm getting beat tonight. I already know. But plot twist, bitch. She literally kept she didn't know what was happening at that point, I believe, and so she was like, "What are you talking about?" Like she was over here. He felt, in my opinion, like she was gaslighting him about the potatoes, but I did poison them. I didn't tell her obviously, but he beat her, and I'll never forget that. And I was just like, I gotta mix it with some cumin. Like that's I know it's fucked up, but I was just like, yeah, I gotta hide that Windex better, cause woo, I almost got beat. I almost got caught, but he was really like thinking that like she tried to kill him, and I just feel like there was a moment where she actually like, bitch, this is gonna sound crazy as hell, but I knew things were bad when one day my mom had won like a lottery, like to get a house. Like they had done this thing with poor people, and they was basically like, we're gonna pull a name out of a hat to give you a house. And so my mom got her name pulled out that hat to get the house, and she had the down payment or whatever, but she didn't want him to come with us. And I didn't know that. My mom didn't tell us nothing. She didn't tell us that she was trying to leave him. And so I remember like in the middle of the night, my mom just waking us up being like, we're moving. And I was like, what? And so we're packing up, like, she had already packed up the house. Like, we're just like packing up our personal stuff. And like, my mom's friend was with us, and her friend had like 5 kids. And so it was like 8 kids. My mom had like this lesbian couple that she was friends with, and like they were there too. And it was just a bunch of women like helping us move in the middle of the fucking night. Obviously, in retrospect, my mom was trying to get away from this man, right? But I didn't understand that. And I just remember like her not saying anything about it, like not being like, this is what we're doing. It was very much just like, this is where we live now. This is our new house. And I remember the next day there was a white dude that came to put in the fucking the ADT system, and his name was Chris. I'll never forget this shit because it was just like I was just like, what's going on? And so my mom told me that the thing for the fucking for the ADT was blessed, and I was like, okay. And right before the man left, my mom ex-boyfriend showed up, the one that I've been trying to poison, the one I've been trying to get away from her. And he was like trying to get back with her. Like he just showed up at the house trying to get back with her. Keep in mind, he didn't know where the fuck she lived. He didn't know shit. But somebody had told him where she was. We don't know who to this day, but somebody told her because he had made it seem like he wanted to get back with her. And so he showed up at my mom's house and was acting like he was about to fight the dude who was putting in the ADT. And the dude is trying to explain like, oh, I'm just here to install something. But he didn't believe him. Like he was really trying to fight this man. Cause he thought my mom had decided to fuck with white men. He was really thinking that my mom had like decided to just fuck with white dudes now. And when I had moved into a new big ass house, like he was just feeling away. And at some point, like they started fucking with each other again. But my mom had tried to get away from him, but she didn't tell us. I think she might have told my younger brother, but I think about that. I think about how my mom, she did attempt to get away from him, but it didn't work. And so it didn't stay. And so I don't know, y'all. Like, just my mom sending me this pic. Like, I want to show y'all this pic so bad. 'Cause this shit had me dead. Like, I'm like, what am I supposed to feel? Like, what am I really supposed to feel about this? And she really want me to feel something. I don't know what. But, like, just looking at this picture fucked me up, bitch. Because I'm, like I said, when I looked at this picture, I was like, my mother is Caucasian. Like, sweetie. Sweetie. Like, babe. And again, like, I'm looking at this picture and I'm like, Tammy, what is this supposed to do for me? Like, what is this supposed to do for me at this moment? Like, really nothing. Like, I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised, but I'm not, because my mom is really that girl. She really do think, she think that this shit gonna matter. It's not. It's really not. But yeah, I'm trying to mentally, emotionally, physically just come back. Right. Like, Tammy, why are you sending this picture? Like, I'm just staring at her face, just like, you're a whole white lady. Like, and you want to pop up in my life now. And it sucks because my mom really think I'm trying to punish her. And that's what also fucks with me as a victim. It's like, why do I want to punish anybody? I don't. But I also don't want to be fake and act like how you treated me is acceptable. It's not. And also, I feel like I'm never having children, but it's because of you, bitch. Like I think about it all the time, like how I really wish that I felt safe to do that, but I never will. Like I'll never feel safe to have a child because again, my mom's low ass standards, the bullshit that I've gone through, I just could never go through that. I can't. I can't. I'm also afraid of like mental health shit. Like when you have a child, like your mental health changes. Like it has to. Like you're carrying another life. Like I just could never put myself in a position to like really be unsafe. And like my mom don't be thinking like that. She don't understand. Like you wanted to you like you said you didn't want to have no kids, and then you had three of them, and then you didn't care about them very much. That terrifies me. Like it terrifies me that like you could have me and you could just not think that I'm worthy of support and caring about. It makes me wonder like what happens, when people go through just trauma and when they have fucked up people around them. Like I worry all the time because it's like I can't imagine you was carrying me, think you was going to do me bad. Can't imagine that the whole time I was inside of you, you were like, I can't wait to fuck this one up. So then I have to look at like the low standards that you accepted around you. And then I have to think like, damn, what would make somebody accept that low standard? And then I have to think and keep on thinking. And I'm like, damn, like it wasn't just my mom, right? Like my grandparents didn't offer her a lot. Yes, they was married, but their marriage was bullshit. And so I think my mom really thought like I feel like she was like, damn, I'm never gonna find me a God fearing man, a man that really loved God like my father. Meanwhile, your father only loves God because he knows that it keeps y'all in check. That's where I'm at. He only operate like he loved God so much because then y'all will revere him as God's right hand. Like there are men that realize that like they don't gotta really believe in God. They just gotta say his name. They just gotta operate like they really fuck with God. And then people will really treat them like they're noble men. And I want y'all to hold that. Like, it's some men out here that know good and goddamn well people are scared of God. They're scared of the concept of an all knowing being. They're scared of Skyfather. And they use that shit. Yeah, no, I definitely can't give no birth. Definitely can't give no birth. I feel like I could be a fun step auntie, you know? Like I could be a good step auntie, you know? Like if I'm with somebody that got nephews or just, cousins that are younger, like I feel like I could really thrive in that. Yes, hell, yes. Hey, Ken. But yeah, that's what I'm saying though. It's a lot of men that know that like people are scared of God and so they'll be scared of them. And so that's what I'm trying to offer is like my grandfather is the type of man who invokes God so that he can get whatever the fuck he want from women. And a lot of the women around him love God so much that they love my grandfather more now. It's really sick, y'all. It's really sick. Cause growing up in the church, I felt it too. Like I could feel my grandfather loving me more when I was screaming for God, when I was saying hallelujah, when I was being so performative in the church. That's when I was the most loved by my family. So I just want to be candid that like some men are in the church because they get to benefit from seemingly being good men because the idea that good men love God is a personality trait at this point. Like there's men that talk about God and talk about prayer because they realize that that's a way to manipulate you and then they don't really have to do or be or say anything really because as far as they're concerned, they open up that Bible and it's done. And so I just want to say, like, I'm not saying this is all people, but there are a lot of men in the church who use the church every fucking day to assume the position of a good man. And it's scary. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the thing, too. It's like being a part of any kind of organized religion is dicey. I feel like even like the spiritual crystal girlies, like there's people that take advantage of those folk as well. Let's be clear. I'm not saying everybody, but some people really be out here, offering to do spell work for you when I feel like what they should be telling you is the strongest spell work is going to come from you and your intention. Yes. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Not fuck no the cults. Yeah, I feel like spirituality it's definitely a personal thing. Um, but I also feel like a lot of people are scared to be like, I don't know what I believe. I don't know what's out there. And go read and go look at the history and the legacy cuz I just feel like that's the thing for me is like looking at timelines of shit, listening to people who are, invested in dismantling Christianity. Like those things are not easy and those things are not every day and we don't always get to find we don't always get to find the information that we want when we want it. Like I think when I was younger, I was like very much like I remember having a convo with somebody and I can't remember who it was, but I remember thinking to myself, that I don't believe in God no more. And like I remember just getting really scared at some point because I was like, damn, what if I'm wrong? Like what if there really is a God? Like what if I'm tripping? And I just had to hold that like the mental space that I held for the concept of God that my family was telling me about, that like I had to go to church to be close with. I had to hold that like I'm okay with not believing and I'm okay with like, releasing myself from that. But I know that like it was a fight. It was not easy. I was really like for a long time afraid of making the wrong decision and thinking the wrong things. But at this point, I just feel so deeply that there has been a concept pushed on us that there is a man watching us, and unfortunately, uh, we have to like really think about who that was for. Like we have to consider like what surveillance culture is for, like what it's like who benefits from you thinking that. And so just the more that I sat with like people who are telling me that they love God, but operating like they love money, operating like they love fear, they love control, they love domination. Like I had to sit with why and what the fuck is going on. And it's distressing. It's very distressing because you think about things that you did that you were like you were scared the whole time. Like I think about that a lot. Like times where I was just like so worried like about God getting me. Like so worried about God getting me, bitch. And I'm not saying that I'm not scared about like, you know, things that I've done, karmic retribution. We'll say that. I do have worry about things that I've done that I don't think I've like apologized for appropriately or correctly, or I don't think that I've acknowledged in the right ways. Like I worry about shit like that. I worry about like things I know I did that I should talk to another human being about and connect with them. But outside of that, I'm not sitting here like, oh man, like my lack of belief is gonna be what gets me. Like I did feel like that for a time, and it was terrifying because again, when you're so wrapped up in the concept of God, when you're so wrapped up in the concept of Christianity, it is really hard to say that you're not afraid of not believing, because when you first start to want to not believe, there's so much like you are your own thought police because you're immediately like afraid of what you just thought to yourself. And that for me was another moment that let me know how deep this shit was. If even in your own mind you're not free from believing the shit, like even in your own fucking mind you can't disconnect. So that's where I'm at with it. Like if I'm scared to let go of something because I'm afraid of what could happen to me and I have no word for what's going to happen to me, I have no explanation for that fear other than what people told me, I feel like that's like a moment. Hell yeah. And see, that's another aspect of this is like holding that we are a part of a collective, right? So ain't nobody knows everything. There's no way to know it all. But I am trying to stay away from people who act like they do. And operate like they have no curiosity. And again, my curiosity around Christianity is dead because I just see it as a way to harm people and control people in a particular way. However, I do think that like being a humanist forces me to hold why humans needed this, why humans thought this was necessary to hold on to. And so I'm just trying to be mindful of that as well. That like I'm not saying this to like hurt nobody or make someone think that they're wrong. If you think that you're right, that's okay. I don't care. I don't care if you're right. I'm not trying to fight you to be wrong. I'm more so trying to name that like I don't like the idea of me sitting there feeling like, yeah, I should trust God. I should trust, Sky Father. Like I don't like thinking that I should feel that way. Because again, I'm also having to hold that there are a lot of people out here who are being harmed because they believed in Skyfather. Like there are people going through things because they assumed Skyfather was a real person or could really help them. Like I prayed to God that he would kill my mom's boyfriend, but at the same time, I also was like, you know what, God, if you're busy, I might be able to tap in. But But with that being said, if I was the kind of person that really believed in God for real, I feel like right then and there, when I'm over here thinking about killing somebody, like that's a moment. Is it not? To be sitting with the reality that like I maybe don't feel like God is the final judge or the final say of what's going to happen next. Like maybe I won't feel like that, and I think that that's really where I got to is just feeling like, you know what? if somebody's doing, like, I feel like on some Matilda, like, if somebody's causing harm, if someone's causing harm, like, why can't I intervene? And so that's kind of where I went to. And so, with that being said, I just feel like personally, the Bible, the Bible be stopping you from taking matters into your own hands, sure. But I also feel like the Bible offers you a way to kind of like act like it's not on you. Like that's where I'm at. Like I just feel like the Bible kind of like has, like allows you to be like, oh, God will take care of it, and it's like, but like, in what time frame? And then it's like the time frame is like, oh well, whenever God sees fit, and it's just like there's just a part of me that feels like we're waiting on divine intervention and hope and shit like that. And it's like we could keep on doing that with the Windex, with the poison. Like we could keep on doing that, but we could also do something like that's where I was coming from. Sure, we want things to go a certain way. Like, sure, we want divine timing. But I also feel like, what divine timing is to you ain't gonna be divine timing to me. Because it's like, if I'm being harmed by somebody and I want them to stop harming me, and you're like, let God handle it. What are you really telling me? Like, I wish people will hold that. Like, when they say, let God get it. What, when? And then people be using like the Jedi mind trick to be like, you gotta be patient. Why? Then people gonna try to gaslight you and be like, oh well, why can't you be patient, or what you're trying to do, like you gotta be grateful. Like it's just there's all these like other ways to turn the thought around in your mind 1,000 times, and then you just sitting there just. So, just with that being said, like, I'm not trying to have nobody sit up here think that they don't gotta believe in God no more, baby. Believe in what you believe in. But I had to really sit with the reality that patriarchy got a lot of tools, bitch. Patriarchy got a lot of tools. That's what I'm gonna say about this one. Patriarchy ain't just a man being shitty. Patriarchy ain't just a man beating you. It's also a man creating a system where other men are fucking invisible and fly above your head and think better than you and think like it's like bitch, like when you really think about it, when you really think about the concept of God, it's like bitch, this is Marvel. This is fucking Marvel. But with, magical powers. And again, as someone who identifies as a witch, I get it. Like if somebody told me these stories from the book from a Bible, I probably would think it was some wild shit going on. I probably be like, oh damn, like shout out to Jesus, maybe. But at the same time, it's just like the way that there's a New Testament, an Old Testament, the way that they try to show God as like a child, and like he's young but he's gonna grow up to be something. Like I just feel like for me it's giving male fan fiction, is it not? It's giving one day this young boy, the son of a widow, not even a widow, the son of a child. Babe, I'm so sorry, but the story just sets up pedophilia. It really sets up a perfect condition for pedophilia, for teenage pregnancy. Like, sweetie, it really sets up a lot, don't it? Like, if you think that it's normal that a girl is randomly pregnant and then she randomly find a stepdad for him and they just want to caravan, like, baby, it don't add up really. But a lot of people can use that as the narrative. See, and that's the thing too. It's like there's no explanation needed for execution, because again, like don't people be saying like an eye for an eye? I'm pretty sure an eye for an eye is in the Bible, and I think that's the thing too. The state that we live in, like the world we live in, decides to say. And again, if you create the concept of Christianity, you're creating a lot of concepts. Personally, like you're deciding, like if you look at the lore of the Bible, like you're creating a certain climate. So then for the state to pick up pieces of the Bible and say that it's viable makes the Christian people or believers feel like, oh, this shit really real. But it's really a form of indoctrination. It's really a way to
be in narcissistic control. Like, that's why the Bible always was going to spell patriarchy. The Bible was never going to spell feminism, humanism. It was never going to spell that. So when you're using the Bible as like the crown jewel of like your legal system, your school system, because think about it, they used to be having God in the schools, and they think that they, because they took him out, that's what's going on. Like, that's what they think now. Like, it's like it's such a perfect system of abuse, because you're allowed to put it in the systems and harm people, take it out and harm people, name that taking it out was harm. Like, it's just like every step of the way you're getting harmed, and you're supposed to keep on turning your mind to accept it. And it's very sick, because if you tell me an eye for an eye, but then you tell me that my eye is worth more than yours. So if you hurt me, the harm that's going to happen to you is 40, 50 fold. Like, what am I really saying? It's really not an eye for an eye, but it's like everything gets exploited. And again, if you've never been in Christianity and left, I don't even know what to even tell you. You're lucky. Like, because again, it is a mental. Oh baby, I don't know about Islam like that. I would never speak on Islam because I don't know it like that. But if any people who are perhaps of the Muslim faith or have left it, if people fuck with Islam or don't anymore, please know there's a safe space to talk your shit. I don't want to take up too much more space talking about Christianity. I'm just trying to name that it is the perfect abuse tool, because you literally set it up to where the person abusing you is better than you and knows better than you. And there's some people that go through shit and they're like, "Oh, this was God's plan." It wasn't. It wasn't. You're being abused. But the way people, you can talk so beautifully about abuse with Christianity. You can really make abuse seem like it was necessary. Like you really needed to get beat down to rise. It's sick. It really is. But we don't talk about that, because again, even me saying this shit, there's supposed to be like 50 Christian people trying to fight me. There's supposed to be people like, there's supposed to be so much like, and I know that some of us are like maybe not in that space, and that's okay. I know some of us may be like, and I know some of us may be like, anyways, I'm still gonna believe in Skyfather. That's fine. But exactly. Not the first sin was knowledge. You see that? It's just like Christianity is like the biggest bully, because it knows how to hurt you. Like, it knows how to get you every time. You go over here, I'm gonna get you over here. You thinking like this, I'm gonna get you like this. Like, it's very wild. It's very chess, not checkers. And so, with that being said, like being able to acknowledge like that we're seeing, um, you know, that we're seeing this. But this is what's going on. Like, that is a part of being in this world as well. Where did this? Okay. Not the pastor. That's what I'm saying, Nima. Wild. Sidebar, this is unrelated to literally everything. Does anybody know about water talk? I found out that the girls are putting like shit in their water to make it tastier. And I'm like, okay. Like all types of powders and like candies and shit. I don't know if anyone's seen this, but if you want to just like marvel at something that is just so interesting, like I'll put a piece of fruit in my water, whatever. Dominique, I'm not taking orders until probably tonight. I got up early to go make this menu, but I am delayed right now. Like my plan is to do a shipment on the 11th. But I still gotta make the menu tonight. So thank you for coming through and asking though. I've had a couple people hit me up and be like, bitch, like, what's going on? And it's like, baby, my mental health. Like, I'm literally trying to take it day by day. It is sugar-free Kool-Aid. You really think that's what your ancestors were praying to before? Babe. Not micro sugar. I mean, leave them alone. I'm just saying, water be tasting so water sometimes. Sometimes, you know, you put a lemon in there, a little berry or whatever, but the girls are just putting straight sugar in there. Like this one lady who talked about some she made birthday cake water. I was like, yo, yo, it sounds tasty. An astrology video. Ooh, Connie, what are we trying to talk about? Oh, it looks like Kool-Aid, but it also looks like glitter. There's glitters in it. They got glitter and little balls and shit in there. It's wild. Like, I've only seen white people doing it though. Yes, she had a birthday cake water. She was really mixing shit together. It was all blue and shit and beautiful. Right, let me go put some ginger in this because this water tasting very water to me, bitch, and I'm not liking it. I know that sounds how it sounds. I don't care. Like, sometimes water just be tasting too water. Sometimes. Sometimes. The water be watering. Where is the ginger, though? Where is the ginger? Some more. Not she drinking the Windex. Bitch, you're silly as hell. You're silly, bitch. Not. I'm dead. Y'all are funny as fuck. Yo, this was mad random, but I just got really sad the other day because I don't like the new Doja. I don't. And it's not because I think it's demonic. I'm not one of those. But I am genuinely sad because, bitch, you ever just listen to Tia Tamara? You ever just listen to Tia Tamara? You ever just watch Rules music video and just be like, what happened, bitch? God damn it. Like, I thought you were gonna be the slightly unproblematic, girly. I said slightly. I said slightly. But, like, damn, Doja, like, I don't know. I thought Moo was cute, too. I did. But the walk on by, like, the sample is bomb. Shout out to Miss Dionne Warwick, but I don't know, bitch. Outside of that, yeah. I'm sad, bitch. Not this one clump of ginger, bitch. I better not suck it all up at once. I'm gonna be sick. But, bitch. Moo is still good. She stole your aesthetic with the new album, bitch. Not you was coming out demonically. I'm dead. I will say this though, like, I'm not even really liking the aesthetics. Like, I hate to say that. Like, it's just not fun to me. It's just I don't know. This new album just didn't give me anything, and it makes me sad because again, I'm not like a stan or anything, but I was really like, oh, this girl's funny. But now I'm like, oh, oh, Doja. I mean, I really want Doja to win in ways, but kind of like Beyonce, I just, oh shit, okay. All right, timer. But as I was saying, like I don't feel genuinely like I really needed another Doja album. I didn't feel like that. I'm glad that she's still with us. Yo, so high. So high in retrospect, like I that was the first song I heard by her and I remember this girl put me on and I was like, "Oh wow." Like I was like, "Oh, she Indian." Like I really thought she was Indian, bitch. So the fact that Doja's still out here doing messy shit is just crazy to me because it's like, ma'am, you got called out for being a weirdo, like back in the back in the bag. Like you should have stayed learning. You feel me? Yo, I don't want to bother any barbs when I say this. I tried to get into the new pick print. And honestly, if my bestie didn't keep on singing high heels on my tippies, like honestly, if my friend wasn't singing that, I would not give a fuck about that song. I would be so for real. Like that one line, and my friend keeps singing it, and it's stuck in my head. But this new, I'm sorry, but like, bitch, I all I hear whenever she rap is like, I wanted a son so bad from this one man that now for the rest of my life, my fans gonna be watching my son like, I hope he don't be like his daddy. Cause I don't know about y'all, but every time I see Papa Bear, I'm like, I pray they got you in therapy, little babe. I pray they got you a good therapist. And I hope they keep Kenneth away from you. I know that's not realistic, right? But I'm just like, keep Kenneth away from the baby. Don't let him pick up none of his traits. But you know we here. I'm dead at you. Yeah, no, I feel like Doja leaning into the demonic shit is funny as fuck to me because again, as someone who's divested from the concept of like Christianity, like being a real thing, like there really being a God, like that's gonna come get people. It's just funny because it's like people be like, it's demonic, and it's just like it's just some paint, you guys. It's just some paint. But I also know that like Hollywood is weird. There's a lot of white people doing creepy shit in the background, and then there's a lot of like white people paying certain black people just enough to be on that type of time with them. And we're always alluding to that, but it's frustrating because it's like the people that really own shit in Hollywood are obviously the creepy people. You know what I mean? It's like it's not the people that don't really own shit, but then again, some people are complicit. I'll hold that for sure. Um, but it's like I look at like certain folk and I'm just like, eh. That's what I'm saying. Like if he was supposed to come, babe, I feel like he should have been here, babe. It's feeling like motherfuckers got left behind and don't want to hold it. And I feel like that's the other thing too. Is like I think that as we become more aware of the lack of honesty in our government, in our churches, there are gonna be people, unfortunately, who will cling harder. They will cling harder because in their minds they cannot like bitch. The way I was really trying to fight to not to stop believing in God. The way that I really was like, damn, like like I didn't want to believe that I had been lied to so bad. Harvey Weinstein being Jewish, I don't want to conflate too much, but there's white people, period, doing harm. And just the same way that like I'm feeling and I'm not telling anyone else to feel this way, a lot of religion is based in bullshit that men want to perpetuate, that men wanted to see as law, that men wanted to conspire against other people with, other men, and of course, women and children. Like, with that being said, it's like I look at anyone very religious and I wonder what you're getting from that. What are you benefiting from that? Because a lot of women aren't benefiting from being with God and being with any kind of Christianity or being with any kind of religion. A lot of women are not benefiting from that. So with that being said, whenever people tell me they're very religious and shit, I be like, oh, okay. So that's what I hear. Like some people, like when they tell you that they're God fearing, they love God, and it's like, yeah, you are maintaining a position of power in that. But there are some people who say that they love God and like everything in their life only adds up to them being harmed by it, by the concept of religion. I know so many women, especially women of color, who do for their family because they are afraid of being seen as an ungrateful daughter. They're afraid of going to hell and being thought of as a leech on their family. There are a lot of women who are being taught by Christianity that you need to be constantly in service and constantly doing stuff for other people benefit. And I've met women who are just now realizing that their family is preying on them, that their family has used Christianity to steal labor, money, support, housing from them, that they've used the concept of God against them. Some people are coming to that conclusion, and I'm so glad because I know what that's like in ways, like to have people use God against you and make you feel like you better get it together because Skyfather is gonna fuck you up. And it's like, actually, you mean you are gonna fuck me up. You're talking about yourself. Like them trying to invoke God at times is just for them to let you know, like, I'm rolling with the bigger bully. I'm gonna harm you with me and God. And so I think some people don't want to believe that, like, it's the Christians at times that really do let us know like what is happening in the church. Like, the pastor don't gotta talk to me. The person in the pew, the person who breaks silence, like, they're telling me all I need to know about what the point of this is. Because there's people that I've met that have told me candidly that their home church be sending them bills. Home churches be sending them bills. Home churches be like, you haven't come to church and we haven't seen no tithes in a while. And I'm like, okay, so you haven't seen me, but I owe you. All right. And again, I'm not saying that the church can't need some money. But it's like, babe, not you hitting up the people that's not even there. Like, that's weird. Mm, not TD Jakes. I'm dead, bitch. I think that there are some queer people who are religious, and I feel like finding religion is like finding home, like finding family. Like, I don't know. I feel like I may not be the person to talk about that because I feel like I'm still gaining information around what I believe. I'm still gaining information on like how to move and like, do I believe in spell work? Yes. I don't believe that you could pay people for it though. I don't believe that you could give somebody something to do a spell for you. I don't think that's real. Some people think it's real. I appreciate that. But I personally feel like spell work can really only come from you for you. Like, I feel like people can of course plot on you. Absolutely. Like, that's really real. You can be plotted against. However, with that being said, because we can be plotted against, um, I think that some people may really think that there's people that's more powerful than them, and I don't like thinking like that. I feel like the power we all have is strong, but some of us are, again, we're coming from family systems where people believed in us, didn't make us have to fight to believe in ourselves, didn't make us fight to have confidence. Like, there's layers to why people believe in themselves and why people love themselves and why people do certain things. And I do think that like some of us are stolen from believing in ourselves. Like, that's why I was telling y'all about my situation with my mom. Like, my mom has harmed me to the point where there were times where I didn't believe I wanted to be alive. There were times where I didn't want to believe that I was like worthy of love and support. Like being in a toxic environment, especially one where they're invoking God, can really fuck you up mentally, because the concept of God and the concept of Christianity, like, you think as a child you are pure. You think as a child you are deserving of support, but then there's also all these passages about how, you should be beaten into submission. All these excerpts about, sparing rods, spoiling children. And so Christianity does account for us to be beat and to be harmed. And so that's why I think about religion as a whole and like what place they have for all of us. Because religion really wants women to cook. Religion has a very big desire for women to take up domestic tasks. Um, and the church really desires for women to control the children. And if a man has to control the children, then he can do whatever the fuck he want to do to the children. And there is no, like, there's a couple, like maybe one actually, like about how, you should not vex your child. Like there's like for every chapter or verse about how to treat, your parents, they do try to pop back and be like, well, the parents can't be, doing this and that to you. But don't nobody remember that part of it. People remember the part about sparing rods and spoiling children. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, the function of religion and the function of even creating a text like the Bible, like, you're wanting to empower people who can read. Let's be clear. You must be able to read. You must be able, and shit, even that is a low bar because it's like there's people that cannot fucking read that quote the Bible. So it's one of those things where it's like the Bible really, in my honest opinion, was created to help people who have money and have access to wealth and support, paper and pen, and the ability to read and the nobility to sit into a church. Those people were supposed to have the power always. Anybody else, you were never supposed to have it. And so, with that being said, I just, again, like, we have to go backwards sometimes to move forward. And I think a lot of us are having a hard time with that. That we have to actually look at what the climate was, the timeline, when the fuck they decided this shit, like, what was happening then, and why it matters now. Listen, like having guilt about Christianity is scary as hell. And I hold space for anybody who's there, cuz like I definitely, again, when I first started telling myself I don't think God is real, I had like a mental crisis where I was like where I was like, what does this mean then? And so, yes, Connie, talk about that Latin. Talk about it. Talk about it. Even the fact that it was translated, the way that it was translated from Latin into English, into multiple languages, and mass produced. Like, who was that for? And just the ways that, like, Bibles, you can tell are made for white people. Like, you can tell by the lack of talking about what people look like, or, like, again, like, there's just so many layers. There's so many layers. And I'm just grateful to have this conversation. But Connie was talking about astrology, and I wanted to talk about it too because I don't know where y'all be going to get astrology information, but I've been really resting on Shani, Chani. I know that they're like a non POC. Like I think that they have like some ancestry of color, perhaps. I know they're not like white, but they're white. You feel me? But I like Shandy. I like their content. I like how they talk about certain things. But as far as like, digging deeper, it's been her, and it's been this other woman, and I hate that I'm blanking on her name. I'm gonna try to find her. I would be down to doing tarot at some point. If folks were interested in a tarot party, let me know. I feel like for me, I've been just staring at my cards, like just staring at them, just feeling you know, just feeling like should I get into this? Like should I even bother? Um because again, like just going through spiritual warfare, just going through trauma, like you'd be really wondering like is it like what's the point? But there's this black woman that I follow who's a tarot card reader, but I'm mad as fuck that her shit not popping up, cause I swear every time I go on YouTube, she right there. But let me try to find her. Distressing. But nah, I like her content because she one of those tarot card readers that be just pulling out the cards and just being like, yeah, bitch, like this is what it says. Um, Hold on, because I feel like let me just type in Capricorn tarot. And here it goes. Here it goes. Damn, girl. Damn. It's there she go. 303 High Priestess Tarot. She really is a light. Like I don't even be saying people is a light, but I just feel like the bitch got a gift. Very much got a gift. Very much her cards do not lie. I feel grateful because like I don't watch a lot of tarot card readers online. It's not, they're not all giving. They're not all giving. But her content for me is loving, kind. Um, I don't know. It's entertaining. It's entertaining and engaging. Um, and see, that's the other thing too to me about church is like, yo, people will really be in the church, and will really like give so much to the church, and they'll have really nothing, and maybe the church will bust down one time for them. You know what I mean? Like the church might come out one good time for your family, but I don't know, bro. I've never had one of those. I've never been a part of one of those churches where they doing right by your by the congregation to that point where like everybody getting their needs met and shit. I've just not seen that. But I think that that's unfortunately like how the church operates for the most part. Is the church operates as if, but wait, but no, the church be operating as if like there's, you know, there's just too many lives to save, too many people to care about, too many, just too much. And we know that that's not true. We know that like that's not the case, but we just live in this timeline where like the church will really act as if like, yeah, you know, the only people that really are worth helping is like, you know, the people that run the church seemingly. And then if you're running the church, you're getting a paycheck. Like I remember asking my grandparents about our pastor when I was a kid, and my grandparents said that like the church pays him, and they pay for all his bills and shit. And I was like, wait, what? That's like, dog. Mm. But you know what I think about church? I think church is very similar to tarot, and I know I know some people don't want to hear that, but I feel like the access of like reading the cards and like being able, like I just feel like there's something there. There's something there because it's like I've read people's cards and I've had my cards read and I felt like things were shifting. I felt like things were happening. And maybe that's me talking about how powerful the tongue is, how powerful our words are, how strong we can be when we're being candid about what we're experiencing, like how we can really show up a particular way for somebody, like being a witness to somebody's trouble. But I just feel like when you're at church or you're offering nourishing in a church setting, I just be feeling like, damn, you know, some people are catching something, but is it really the Holy Ghost always? Is it also partly that like they're going through something and your words are like lifting them a little bit? I don't know. I'm not trying to say that motivational speaking is not a thing that that people can't be, you know? Because I believe that for sure. I believe people really can give us a lot, like by talking to us, communicating with us can give us something. Like, I be coming here talking to y'all. I'm not saying everything's a gem, but people do get something from being here, and I'm grateful that that's happening. But I also know what that's like to be online and get something from somebody online. Like people, like people that I go on, like I'll be in the comments for them going live. It's like Jasmine's Garden 23. I don't know if you can find her everywhere because again, like people be stealing her content so bad. Like that's one thing that I'm like, damn bro, like we really are in a weird timeline because the way people steal from my girl Jasmine is so sick. Like you'll really be thinking you're following the girl and you're not following the girl because somebody done stole her videos and started a whole channel. Like that's where we're at, bitch. Like nobody was stealing marshmallow from me. Nobody was stealing shit from me. And like this girl puts out gems all the time, and like you gotta really try to find her. And it's like, damn. And I know it's not just her, but it's a lot of digital creators that are creating so many amazing things, and there are so many people that will steal the content. They'll steal the juice and sell it out of their own cup, and it's like that's not your juice. You just have the cup and the straw. And I'm just, it's weird. It's like I know that she's getting what she needs. I believe, but it's just like there's money on the table, bitch, and it's because people are stealing. You know what, Hale? I'm glad you said that. I'm really glad you said that. Cause it does change like what things. It does change like what I'm saying and what I'm meaning. Because like people do need therapy. People do need to be seen. Yes, people need to be seen and heard. And in church, you can. It's a call and response, is it not? And that has a function as well. Like when the church be or when the preacher yells at you to say something, and you know what to say, or when people are speaking their testimony. Like I think about the production and the flow of what church is. Yes. Yes, you know what? One of my favorite creators, their name is PJ. This is another person I watched their live of. Their name is Praxis Poppy, Praxispaapi. And they talked about how humans are community people, how like we need kisses and hugs and physical contact, like we need those things, and how they're not a sign that we're immature or bad or we're like weak, um, and that it's actually like a big like display of like your own self-love by you acknowledging that. Right. Like, no, don't get me wrong. I love when the church be singing and dancing and stuff. I love the church for that. But when the church starts condemning people and starts talking about who good and who bad, that's when I look at the church crazy, because it's like, sweetie, just play the music. Just play the motherfucking music. Because again, like, there's so many people that are going to come into this church and be gay. And I think about gay folk who want to be in church. I think about that. I think about my queer folk who want to be in church, cause I don't want to be there at all. At all, bitch. It doesn't call to me. And when it did, it was again for the music, for the community. I never was sitting up there like loving how they were talking about certain people. Not at all. And then even being a queer person and knowing that I had to suppress because I was being told to my face that I may have a gay demon inside of me. And it's a couple of y'all that's not gonna be able to relate, but it's a few of y'all that will, and I'm sorry. But when you're queer and in the church, people will tell you immediately that gayness is demonic. That being gay, being queer is demonic. That there is a demon on you, and that is why you are gay. And I hate to say that, because it's like, who the fuck want to tell somebody that? Who wants to be the one to say that out loud to someone, to tell a young queer person you are demonically possessed? That is crazy. But that's what the church be to a lot of us queer people. The church is a confirmation that we are worthy of all the harm we're already getting. That maybe our mom ain't beating us. Maybe she's trying to exorcise that demon out of us. I'm telling y'all right now, some people have been abused to another degree because they were seen as embodying the demon that everybody's scared of. I swear. I swear. And and again, I'm only talking about it now because nobody can beat my ass. You know what I mean? But I couldn't talk freely about somebody saying I had a gay demon, because I'm supposed to feel bad. I'm supposed to sit here and feel like, damn, I'm the one with the gay demon. I'm supposed to feel like I'm the one who got gay demons up in their motherfucking spirit. Like I'm supposed to be looking around and noticing how other people are just, they're doing better than me, and it just must be this gay demon that got me. That must be what it is, bitch. The gay demon. Again, unless we talk about how religion has harmed us, we're never gonna get out of it. We're never gonna get out of it, and there's gonna be people that are never gonna get out of it, and I don't want that. I want to be the one that survived church. Bitch. Yes. Abominations and monsters. Yes. Again, like y'all, as I've been recovering from illness and just mental collapse. I just want to say, like, being here has been healing. Yo, sorry.
Oh, you're
I,
good.
I just came down here to grab some drugs.
Oh, yeah. You want the tequila?
I kind of do. I kind of do. Thank you. I mean, I'm liking the ice cream, but I feel like it's just so sleepy. And it's like the middle of the day. I feel like the
Yeah.
count got me up. What are you
Yeah,
smoking?
that's fair. This is like a mix of a bunch of shit. This is like
Okay.
A little bit of Sherbacio, a little bit of the CBD stuff, and a
Oh.
lot of the ice cream cake. I'm cutting the ice cream cake. Because I agree with you, it's very sleepy, so I'm like,
Yeah.
mix it.
That's a night one. It's so good at night though. Like I feel like it's good for like right before bed, like
Yeah.
getting super goofy
Yeah.
and then zoop.
Today is a super lazy day though. I'm about to go upstairs and play RuneScape, I think.
Bitch, fuck it
I
up.
have shit to do.
Fuck it up. Yeah, I got some shit to do. Oh, did you paint that?
Yeah.
Yo, acrylic
This is
markers?
for, yeah, my pasta.
Whoa.
This is for there's a showcase thing happening. So the idea is it's called Fun a Day. Because you're supposed to like do one thing. Well, you don't have to do it every day. Like, the idea is you like pick a thing and do it every day. Like, some people, like, one time somebody made a giant sock dragon. So they just like spent all the days like sewing socks together.
Oh.
And then I was thinking of doing yo-yo tricks, so I'll just like practice yo-yo all the time. And then on February 15th, there's like a showcase.
That's cute as fuck.
It's the same people that did the Cantastoria Fest.
Wow.
That was in November.
Whoa.
It's fun. You should participate.
I mean, I want to hear more for sure. Like, I'm definitely going to ask more questions. But I want to know more about these sweet yo-yo tricks that you know.
Oh, no,
like,
I don't know that. That's the point is I want to try to
You're
learn.
learning yo-yo. Okay. I'm bad at yo-yo. I always break it
So fucking hard.
and then get hurt.
James just won one at the bridal shower we went to.
He won a yo-yo?
We played trivia, and pretty much everybody got a prize.
I'm
James
dying.
picked the best one, which was the yo-yo.
Wait, but did it light up though?
No, it's like a boring one, but it's cute. It's green. It's like a difficult style though. It's not like the one that has the flared outsides. I feel like those ones are easier to use.
Maybe.
Because like the flared, it like guides the string.
It's like the old school yo-yo.
Yeah, it's like just a little puck.
So is that what you're going to be using to do your tricks?
I might get a different one.
I heard you say better. I heard you about to say better. I love your Virgo self. Look, I'm about to get a better tool to practice.
I said different.
No, you did. No, you did. There was restraint. I saw it. I love it. I'm dying. But yeah, no. I'm about to take my ass. I'm about to take my ass. Oh my god, wait. Do we love each other enough to where I can pee in the same room with you? Probably not, right? Probably not. That's probably weird. Listen, I'm gonna put you guys out here for a second. We're not gonna pee together. We're not besties like that. Maybe one day. Probably not though. I feel like I should probably be selling content. Just kidding. That wasn't real. But yeah, no. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm Connie, you got me crying. Hell yeah. Thank you for clearing that up. Yeah, no, I feel like I'm not like trying to put people on cam if they don't want to be on cam. And I also feel like I'm not asking people if they want to be on cam because I don't even know what this is anymore, you guys. I don't even know what I'm doing here anymore. I'm just having a good time with you guys. But with that being said, I figured we'd smoke one more, then I'd actually get my shit together because, oh God, like, I'm so glad Dominique hit me up here, but like, I'm not like purposely trying to like not do work. I'm just feeling like, I don't know. I know this is gonna sound how it sounds, but I'm just like, I'm having like a crisis, like mentally, where I'm just like, who am I? What am I doing? What do I wanna do? Wait, who are we talking about? I'm gonna go pee, but bring it up. Okay, mango peel. Mango peel never really updated me on what they're saying, but I want to know. Oh my god, bitch. Am I thinking about Mark Anthony? Tell me, baby girl, cause I need to know, I need to know. Sorry. I'm so sorry. It's stuck in my head. Oh yeah. This ain't a basement. But yeah, like I was saying, and yeah, I could turn on the light in here, but I'm not. I'm not. I want it to be spooky, scary skeleton. Um, but yeah, I was saying things before I left. I want to say that you're talking about fucking Doja, but here's my thing. I feel like Doja is clearly very white identified. I feel like that's another thing about this. Is like some mixed people are, they're with the whites. Like, and I just get a vibe like she's with the whites, but she will exploit her access to blackness like for her benefit. That's what I'm seeing. If other people see differently, that's okay. But I just see her as a very obviously mixed person, very obvious biracial. But I feel like I would consider her a Key and Peele. Like they have proximity to blackness, but it just means money. It just means stolen goods. It doesn't mean like that they care about black people. Like, and I feel like that's why I look at Jordan Peele like the way I do, because I'm like, he is like, maybe one day he'll have his awakening and he'll realize like, oh, like they're privileging my thought process because I'm part white. Like maybe he'll come to that. I don't know, man. I don't know how he could not. I don't know. But then again, I do, because it's like, bitch, like, let me not get ahead of my fucking self. I feel like us, even the concept of knowing is not. Yeah, so again, I just feel like, and that's my critique on Doja. I'm not hating her. I just feel like, wow, like, she's saying it with her whole chest, but she's not. So, and I want to like hold myself accountable. Like, I'm sure there are people that are like, how are you being candid about anti-blackness and fucking with a white person? Like, I'll hold space for that. I feel like, and all I can say to that is that like my concept of like fucking with a white man wasn't like I'm gonna fuck with a white man and like be seemingly uncredible as like a person who cares about the liberation of black people. That wasn't my thought process. My thought process was I would like to be loved. There are not a lot of people loving people out here who look like me. And people can fight with me about that or not, because I've had someone be like, you've had partners before, and it's like, that doesn't mean that I'm getting consistent care. Like, having the ability to name someone as your partner doesn't necessarily mean that you're being loved. Like, and I feel like people don't want to think about it, because again, then I feel like there'd be a lot of conversations around like, what does love really mean? Like, I think that that's the thing too, is like, there are people who have privilege, and like that privilege is enough like for someone to want to be with them, and then there's some people who's like don't have enough privilege. I feel like Drake and Doja are also in the same situation, but I feel like Drake didn't lose his credibility until he was hiding that white lady and that white baby. When Drake started hiding that white lady and that white baby, because that's another thing too, like when you're a very, like, and this is me just saying what I've noticed, I could be wrong, but when you're a mixed man invoking blackness and you choose white, you look crazy. That's what I've been noticing. It's like, when you're a Drake and you're like, and then you're with a white lady, but then there's, again, the gaslighting that other people have to experience, because I was in this thread where they were laughing about Drake's baby mom, and then there were people really trying to be like, oh, y'all are bitter. And it was like, who's bitter? I feel like a lot of things could be happening at one time. People can be laughing at Aubrey. People can be laughing at the mom. People can be laughing at the mess. Like, it don't gotta be bitter. Like, who was really thinking they was gonna be with Aubrey? Like, no shade. But I just feel like there was very much like this energy of like, we know who's mad. And it's like, no, you don't. Because we're laughing at like so many other things. Like, for me, I was in the thread because I was just like, again, like they were saying she got more work done, and I was like, okay, like, because again, when you look at her, like her old face, like she did look ethnic because her nose, but her changing her nose, like she's still looking how she looking, but it was just like, I don't know, there was a part of me that was just like, you know. But somebody was saying that she trapped him. I'm like, bitch, he is a billionaire. Like, he know where he nutted? The fuck? Like, people be really wanting to put a lot on a woman. Like, they really want to, like, they want to say she trapped him. Like, that's why, like, I feel like that's just the funny part to me. Is, like, they really expected him to find, like, a brown woman. And it's awkward because why? Why would they want to put that on somebody brown, bitch? Like, I mean, no shade when I say this, but us mixed people with white moms, like, please, like, just believe what you're hearing. We are fucked up. Like, we are fucked up. Where we don't get the right shit told to us. We just don't. And so I don't expect for anybody to like see me date white people and be like, oh, that makes sense. It probably don't. Like I'm holding space for that for sure. Like I've had white people hit like, and that's the other thing that sucks. Is like like I feel like that's another aspect of this. Is like when I say that like white people come to me, like that's clearly what I like. Like I like for someone to come to me. So with that being said, the context of men of color coming to me, I really feel like it's a historical thing. And it may also be a personal thing too, because I don't want to take away from what other people are saying. Because I feel like that's another aspect of this. Is like when I listen to deep, dark skinned, fat women talk about their experiences with black men or men of color, I hear things that I haven't experienced completely, but some of the things I have. And so I have to hold that, like, there are times where a black man will say something to me, but it's still not on the same level of what other men have said to me in terms of like trying to like get my attention and like, and I think about that. And like I recently got into an argument with this man because he was like, oh, why are you on BLK? And I was like, honestly, I feel like I should probably delete that BLK app. And like I was telling this to this other dude, and he was like, man, there's white girls on there, so you're good. And I'm like, damn, so you think it's okay for me to be in this space because there's already white people in it? That's not good. Like, that's not good. So again, I'm trying to pay attention, trying to listen, trying to also like not be a shitty ass weird person. And so I said to this other man that I'm trying not to date as many white people, and every dating site I go on is geared towards me finding a white person. It's something I just have to hold. Like when I go on the BLK app, I'm mostly seeing men of color, black men primarily. So that's why I'm there. I'm telling him like I don't want to date white people as much anymore, and like I feel like I have to actively go out of my way to not, because they're everywhere and they're always swiping on me. And any app I go to, especially in this area, which I'm in Detroit. But it's like, Detroit, it's still Michigan. It's still very Caucasian. And I told this man this, and he was like, how come you've dated so many white men? And I was like, those are the men that came to me to date me. I never went out my way to date a white man. A white man went out of his way to date me. And I was telling him, I was like, there are a lot of instances where like a black man will swipe on me, but will he ask me on a date? No. Like, he gonna ask me if I want to come smoke. That's it. And like I've had to tell a couple men, like, when you swipe on my sisters, can you just make sure like to just ask them on a date? Like I be really trying to tell them. I'm like, treat my sisters better than this, cause don't nobody want to come smoke some weed with you, babe. Like my profile don't even say nothing like that. It like, yeah, I smoke weed, but I don't want to just come over and smoke weed with you. Like how you talk to women it's mattering. And some of them are just like, oh, I would have got to know you while we were smoking. And I'm like, but I would have already had to put myself in your house or put you in my house. Like, a lot of these men don't be thinking about neutral space. They don't want to go to a coffee shop. They don't want to go get a sandwich. They don't want to go on a date with you. And I'm not saying all men, I'm saying a lot of men are not interested. And I'm not even trying to put a race on it. However, when I was talking to this black man, I'm like, a lot of y'all be asking me to come smoke. And y'all don't ask me to do nothing fun or adventurous. And if I do hang out with one of y'all, I have to host. I have to host. Y'all are not hosting. And his energy was like, that's just what you're seeing, what you're finding. I'm like, exactly. I'm only talking to you about my experiences. I'm not telling you about nobody else's experience. But he was getting mad. And I'm like, how are you mad at me? But there's a part of me that's like, bitch, you was about to ask me to smoke, weren't you? Because I'm like, bitch, I feel it. I feel he was about to ask me. I feel like all I was worth was a Dutch. I felt that. It's okay. Don't be mad because I'm clocking it, though. Like, I literally was like, I'm not sure if I'm angering you, like, for telling you my experience, but I'm really not trying to bother you. I'm just really trying to let you know, like, I'm not just dating white people because I'm just looking for white people. They're the only ones, seemingly, who are interested in dating me and being, like, on some, treating me the way I want to be treated. And it sucks to say that because I'm not trying to make it seem like y'all can't rise to the occasion. But if you didn't want to, that's also okay. And so again, he blocked me like right after that combo, and that was the whole combo. Was me being candid about how a lot of black men only hit me up to smoke a blunt. And so I'm not gonna internalize that I'm only worth smoking a blunt with. I'm not gonna internalize that because I know that's not true. I'm also not trying to say I don't want to smoke a blunt, but that's not a first meet for me. Especially as I'm trying to reprioritize like the way I use plant medicine for myself. I feel like a lot of times when a man says he want to come fuck, or when a man says he want to smoke, he really just want to fuck. It takes time to learn shit like that. No one just tells you that. If a man is saying he want to just smoke you out, he want to just fuck you with very low stakes. No one's telling us that, are they? Did your mom tell you that? My mom didn't tell me that. My mom didn't say, oh, if a man say he just want to come smoke or come smoke, it really mean that he don't really value you. Is anybody telling anybody that? And I'm gonna be so real. I usually just go smoke. I usually just do it. Because again, I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I'm above smoking with you, right? So I've already done the whole, well, let's go see what they talking about. Well, let's go see what a smoke is like. And then we just be fucking. So now I know if you ask me to smoke, you don't want to fuck me or you don't want to be with me. You want to be with me one night. You hear me? You don't want me for your life, but you just want one night. That's okay. But it's not because I don't want to do a one night thing with you. And so when you say that, motherfuckers be like, see, but that's the thing though. Like, though, is the weed really free, bitch? Because it's not like you're just sitting there smoking like that motherfucker want to touch on your pussy. So now you high and being sexually assaulted. Now you're high trying to say no. And you're laughing. And nobody's taking you seriously. Now you high and you at this man's house and it's his rules, right? I just want to put that out there that like you shouldn't have to figure out what the fuck is going on, but you do. Like, to be safe, you have to. So again, here's the thing. I'm not saying if a man asks you to come smoke, you can't ask more questions. I'm just saying from my experiences, hey, you want to come smoke means I don't want to take you on a date. It means I might get you a sandwich, a snack or something, but I'm not going to do more than that. And if you're wanting more than that, you have to say no to the smoke. That's what I'm trying to say. But a lot of them don't want to say that. Like the last boy I was dealing with, like, and he was a babe. He was 25 years old. That was a young boy. He was like, oh, I'm just looking to have some fun. And I'm like, I hear you. And in retrospect, like, I get it. Like, he has a full schedule. He's like, he has 2 jobs and he going to school. I can understand why you're not looking for a relationship and you're just looking to get some pussy every now and then. But it's still gonna be a no for me, bitch. Like, again, I understand why some people just want some pussy. I get it. I've wanted just some dick before, sure. But I'm not there anymore. So now that I'm not there, I have to move differently. And if I don't move differently, then I can't really, like, if I don't change, then I can't be surprised other people not changing or transforming. So I have to change what the fuck I'm saying yes to. So I can't say yes to go smoke no more because, again, I already know what this is about to be. We're gonna smoke, we're gonna fuck, and maybe we'll keep fucking, but my value to you is a blunt. My value to you don't even really be conversation. Like, that's the other thing too. You ever smoke weed with somebody and it's not even good? Dominique, I appreciate you for saying that. Yeah, nah, they don't be saying, hey, how are you? It'd be like, when you gonna come smoke? When you gonna come over? Like, they really hit you with a question mark. Like, you were supposed to know to invite yourself to their house to go fuck them. So, with that being said, like, I know my mom ain't tell me this. I know my granny ain't tell me this. And I know motherfuckers wasn't going through this. If a man invited you to smoke some weed, babe, like, I don't know. I feel like you would just know what time it was back in the back. But maybe not. Like, maybe this is us finally getting down to business. You know what I mean? Maybe the internet was what we needed as like non-men to understand what we're seeing. Because when I first got on online dating, like, you could go on a date. Like, going on a date was not hard. Now motherfuckers do not want to go on a date. But I don't want to make it seem like motherfuckers can afford to date. And I feel like that's another level to this. Is like, dating costs money. Meeting up with people costs money. And some people are trying to get a discount date. They are. And if you're willing to be the discount date, they'll take you up on it. And I don't want to be that anymore. And so I feel like some of us are not going on dates as much because they were never dates. They were always a smoke and see, bitch. A smoke and see if you want to fuck in the end. But that's the thing too, is like, I don't want to be rehabbing no man. I don't want to fix no man. Like, a lot of women are saying, like, you know, this one woman was saying, you know, whenever you start dating a man, you're basically taking on a son. And I was like, and because there's women that will fix a man up and put him together, it's gonna be harder for the rest of us, bitch. That's why a lot of women are fighting against the pick-me's and the motherfucking male-identified women, because that is that's really like, those are our people, but they really operating against their own interests. Me neither, bitch. No, like, that's the thing too. Like, do I hate men as a whole? No. But I do hate the masculine toxic behavior that they be holding on to for dear life. And if I see it in a man, I will really get the fuck away from him, because it don't take too much for a man to harm you. Like, this woman just made a video. Her name was like Tisia, Tisia, and then, like, I want to say VX. She put out a TikTok that really hit me. It was just like, some of y'all are dating and being like, I can't handle another heartbreak. I can't handle another cheating situation. And she's like, bitch, if you can't handle that, you need to stop dating, because that is what dating is. It's a risk. And I'm like, fuck. And that's why I'm like sitting with my reality that, like, I don't want to take no risks. like that man talking about I could try harder. No, because I'm already putting myself at risk dealing with you already. The fact that you got to work harder or try harder, or that you can say you have the ability to try harder, you have more in you, when I'm telling you it's not hitting, no. Because that means that you came at me with 50% off. And now you talking about, oh, you can raise the price. Fuck you. It's really actually insulting, because it's like, you wouldn't have treated somebody else like that. And I'm not somebody else. So we could never rock. Dominique. Like, I really feel like the biggest thing for me is, like, he had nothing to talk about. Like, he's still in the system trying to fucking make it work. And I know every time I'm talking, I'm fucking him up. And it's making me feel bad. Because I could tell. Like, at one point, he wanted to be a cop, and now he's like, I want to be a firefighter. I'm like, babe, for this country? I just feel like he's bought some lies, and I can't unsell them to him. You know, like he think that he a good dude, and he not holding that. He gonna be always unlearning. Like that's what I'm saying. Like he wanted to be a cop, but then he's like, "Fuck it, I don't." He's like, "I don't want to be a black cop in the system because he's like, I already know that we're gonna be harmed in a way that's gonna be weird." Like he had a nuanced critique of why he wasn't gonna be a cop. He really like held, and again, like that's what made me so conflicted because I'm like, "Bitch, you're so smart. You're so smart." You see it, but you don't want to believe it. Like he knows that like anti-blackness and toxic masculinity is eating up the world, but he think he could just be a good guy about it. He thinks he could just be the change, and it's like, baby, I need more than that. I really need you to say fuck this system, and you can't, cause you can't. You're not there. Maybe you will one day. Who knows? But like I said, I know that he's on a path to understanding, and I'm down to be his friend that's a little older and already sees it and is being gentle. But I can't be nothing more than that because again, like it's like yo, when people become more aware of like the cage that they're in, it's hard. It's hard. I know there's some people that'll never relate to me again because they're like, bitch, what are you talking about? Get money. Like I know it's some people that expect me to just put on a wig and put on some makeup and just pretend like everything's okay. And the more that I sit with like what's happening, the more I'm just like, again, like I said, like I'm going through a mental collapse, and I feel like it's hard when you can talk about what you're going through, because like again, people do expect people who are not well mentally to be doing a bunch of shit that's scaring them, and I think what scares me about this is that I can't do none of the shit that I used to do to just move on from how I'm feeling. Like I really can't. Like, babe, bitch, bitch. All I hear is motherfucking Solange, bitch. Cranes in the sky, bitch. Swear. That's all I hear. I tried to smoke it away. Found out this was only okay weed. Like, this ain't the transformative weed, but it's not the weed. It's very much like Pleasantville vibes, bitch. I can never go backwards. So now what? And because I can't go backwards, I can't. Everybody not gonna fucking fuck with me. Sweet Summer Children. I do not know what the song is about, but it makes me think about how you try to just cope with trauma and it's just not hitting. Everything you trying to do, everything you trying to do, like it's not working because what's really fucked up is everything, not you. And so that's what I'm trying to hold, that like I'm sitting with my brain not being able to function properly and knowing that it's not on me. I'm having to sit with my elders wanting to apologize to me and they don't know how. And deciding that I'm the bad person because I don't know how to accept a non-apology. It's a lot of shit that is not on me that I gotta sit with. So yeah, that's why I've been fucking working. That's why there's no new menu yet. Because every time I try to start working, I start to think, and I'm just supposed to go on? And I'm just supposed to go on, bitch? And it's a part of me that's like, I can't go on. No Celine Dion over here, bitch. I can't go on. Like, I'm really feeling like all of the trauma is like in my bones, in my body. And it's feeling hard to move. Literally. And I've been really trying to like work on my somatic release and shit. I can't even masturbate this away, man. I've been trying to bust hella nuts and I just start crying, bitch. I can't even masturbate about it and move on. Again, I just want to say to anybody out there who's going through what I'm going through, you deserve to heal on your timeline, and I'm so sorry that it's not feeling realistic. Because that's what I feel the most, is that I want to heal so bad, but I'm realizing it's not about time. That time matters very little with healing. That something could happen to you and it'll stick with you in a way that it's like it's just part of you now. And so I have to hold like so much stuff. And like I said, I'm telling my mom, when I love someone, I have to tell them that I've thought about killing someone to save my life. Like, that's not everybody can hold that. Not everybody can hear that and still love you and want to be with you. And I'm not saying that somebody has to love me, but it's been hard for me to love myself through going through that. It's been hard for me to see myself as worthy after experiencing so much. And so Hale, earlier when you were saying like relationships be conditional and shit, I am hearing the fuck out of you because I was really feeling like, damn, I've gone through so much. How can I ever tell anyone that I love what I've experienced? And then also feeling this fear that if I tell someone that I was undervalued, maybe they'll do it too. And maybe they'll want to do it as well. Free Gypsy Rose, bitch. I know she's free, but still. Yo, honestly, people are dragging Gypsy for saying that she with a fat man and getting some good dick. And it's just like, let her live. She probably don't know how to talk about getting good dick. She probably don't know how to talk about a lot of stuff. Her mom was infantilizing her. She don't understand what she's saying probably all the way. She'll be embarrassed in 10 years, bitch. Just wait. Let her go, though. Trust me, like, some people don't have the shame anymore that they might have had. Some people don't even have it. Like, I'm trying to just see her clearly. Like, she is a girl who is a woman, but she still has the mind of a girl. And a girl would brag about getting some good dick. Like, for sure. Plus, baby, she went to jail. Like, she wasn't getting good dick in jail. She got new news to tell, babe. Think about it. Think about her story to us. She's been harmed in one of the most sick ways someone can be harmed. She was harmed in a way, like, bitch, low-key, her story just like Eminem. But Eminem probably gave Kim some money and let her live. But honestly, like, Marshall be talking about his mama doing stuff to him very similarly. And if he would have killed Kim, who knows what his life would have been. I just feel like we've been hearing about kids getting abused by people and living to tell the tale. Some of these kids are going to start killing. Abso-fucking-lutely. Because if you, like, again, bringing up Eminem, that man is a billionaire. That man has money for days. He is good. Like, there are people that are never going to be able to tap into their talent. And I'm saying talent, but I feel like outside of that White America song, I really wasn't, like, I'm not going to say I never bopped to Eminem, but I never felt like he was the great. You know what I mean? I feel like he was a white man allowed to profit in a particular way. And I feel like he was scary enough to where people didn't want to fuck with him for real. Because I feel like all his music, he talking about being a killer, bitch. But in a way, that's like not like he would never say he's getting a gun. He would be talking about stabbing hoes up. I think he said he slapped somebody with asbestos on a tampon. Like, babe, he was never sounding like the guy that you could have a reasonable conversation with about appropriation. And so I hold space for people being too afraid to talk to Marshall about his impact on black culture and rap. I can understand that. He was talking about using anthrax as a weapon. I wouldn't want to fuck with him either. Very, very scary, very terrible. But I feel like that's why a lot of white people liked him, because he was that white child being abused by a mom who didn't love him that much. And I think a lot of white people can relate. Like, there's not a lot of white people getting treated the best either. And so that standard of loving your child in a particular way, like, of course a white child killed their mom. I just feel like when black children react to the abuse, it becomes about their blackness. It never is about the history of fucking trauma that they experience, their mom experienced, their grandpa experienced. Like, it never becomes a compound experience. Whereas with Case in point, Gypsy Rose. Like, we can see the historicity of abuse and the escalation to the point where we're very, like, I feel like for the most part, people will be like, oh, like, we understand why she killed. I'm not saying we shouldn't be understanding why she killed. What I'm trying to offer is what now? Because now we have all decided in a way that there is a collective desire to understand killing someone who's abusing you in a particular, like, yes, people can laugh about me trying to kill my mom's boyfriend, but it's like, why? Like, because we know seemingly at this point that, like, if you're in that mindset where you're willing to kill someone, it's not good. And so with that being said, like, death, manslaughter ideation, manslaughter period being qualified, like, that should tell us where we're at, you know, like, we're not in a good place. We're in the bad place, you guys. And so I'm not trying to take away from, like, the seriousness of what was happening to me. What I'm trying to offer is that me becoming a murderer was not going to be the fucking solution, and it was never going to work out for me. Gypsy Rose is probably rich. She probably good. You know what I mean? All the money that her mom done stole and put into other shit, I'm sure she's reaping some benefits of that. I'm not saying that, like, that's a good thing or a bad thing necessarily. What I'm trying to offer is that, like, she's gonna survive. You know, like, after killing her mom, after going to jail, she's gonna make it. But the fact that she was in jail for 10 years, like, as a white, and has all the sympathy, but I also think about how we're in the age of Aquarius and how, like, people have more thoughts behind what we're seeing. We were all raised for the most part in the age of Pisces. If you're born after 2011, which I don't think any of you are, then no. But if you consider that we were all born and raised for the most part in age of Pisces, everybody that's old right now lived through age of Pisces. We're going backwards through the ages. That's why we're going towards motherfucking that's why we're in Aquarius now. And then it just makes me think about how, like, the age of Pisces and, like, just the ways that, like, people, that emotion was running shit. It was all emotion. People understood emotional responses in a way. Now we're in the age of Aquarius, very airy, very mental. So now we're in a time where people are trying to outthink their emotions, you know? And, like, in ways it's good. Like, it's good to, like, think about why you're feeling how you're feeling. But in the age of Pisces, it's like, bitch, I'm mad, so I'm gonna do some mad shit. I'm happy, I'm gonna do some happy shit. Now people are like, am I really happy? What's happiness? What's pain? What's violence? Like, people are defining these words in a way that we weren't before. And we're evolving in a particular way. And sure, like, there are people weaponizing this language. Sure. But we're noticing a desire for therapy because we have been feeling so much for so long without any guidance around how to feel connected to those feelings. Like, for real. Not gypsies in deep regret. That's sad. But I can empathize because, again, if I had successfully killed my mom's boyfriend, I probably would feel, like, terrible. Probably would feel bad as hell, you know? Probably would feel fucked up. I'm not saying that I think he's a good man. I'm not even saying he should have got away with it. Like, in my honest opinion, he should have to pay back financially, like, to all of us. Like, even his own kids that he abused. Like, he's been abusing people for a long time. He should have to pay restitution to that. However, will he? No. Here's my thing. Doja liking white men is a whole conversation. Not her baby to come out white passing. Here's my thing. I want to, again, remember that, like, we're in the age of Aquarius, so we have to start thinking about why people have certain emotions. We can't just be mad that they have emotions. We have to think about why they have them. And I don't know if people remember, but Doja's dad openly does not fuck with her. Like, openly is a famous black man. in his respective country has knowledge of her and never really poured into her. As someone who also has a black father who does not give a fuck about me, I'm not sure if that has anything to do with how when black men show they don't give a fuck about me, I click the fuck out and I move on. I'm not saying all black men don't give a fuck about me. However, when you are being treated like shit by a black man who don't like you and who is your dad, I can hold space for why she may have some trauma there that she should probably go to therapy for. Because again, trying to parent the father wound with a white man is nuts. And I'd say the same thing about anybody trying to parent the black mother wound with a white woman. I'd say the same thing. But do people know that they got a wound? Do people know that they're wounded? Do people realize that they're using romantic love as a stand-in for familial love? I don't know. But Drake be pandering like he liked black women though. That I feel like Drake has a career, but it's not the same. Drake's career has never recovered from him having a white baby, and I feel like if we're not gonna hold that, that's fine. But that's what I feel. I feel like his reception in the world has been changed. Like when he was seemingly lusting after Serena, seemingly lusting after all of these black women, and never married any of them. Right, like I feel like he panders to black. I feel like between me and you, like this is gonna sound how it sounds, but I feel like Beyonce has like the mixed person blueprint down for how to be received by black audience, and she chose a black man who's visibly black. She has 3 light skinned children, and she's reaping the benefits of it. And if people don't see that, that's fine. But Drake pandering towards black women is why his career went the way it did. Him seemingly, and when I say black women, I also have to talk about the collusion with him and like pandering towards white women, towards mixed women. Because I'm pretty sure Malaya is mixed. I'm pretty sure a lot of the women, Rihanna, Nicki, that he's been pandering towards were not black women, but they were received as black women. And then on top of that, there was, his again, like the way that he panders and makes it seem like he would be with a black woman. Him dating J-Lo is hilarious. I never noticed Drake and Nicki Minaj actually dating. Um, I saw him lusting, but I never saw the dating. But I saw him lusting after Rihanna and Nicki. I never knew that they were together. I didn't even know he was with J-Lo. Like I said, he's too low key, and again, he a Virgo. And I feel like a Virgo man not taking a wife is a statement. It's a statement, bitch. And I just feel like, again, like I feel like a lot of Virgos want to be married. That's, again, I don't care what anybody says. These are my thoughts based on my own experiences. Virgos like to be in relationship. They do not like to be single. I don't know, not one Virgo that was ever really trying to be single, bitch, for real. They thrive in a relationship because they're competitors, bitch. That's why they like it, because they're like, yeah, bitch, let me show you how great I am. Like, that's honestly how I see Virgo. They're always like, actually, you have no idea what you're talking about, but I'm going to help you, bitch. I'm going to help the needy. Like, it's very much like teacher vibes, very much like, I'm going to help you. And I just feel like for him, he probably don't know, like, how to be with a woman and be an equal. And that's why he'll never be with a black woman who's on his level, because he would need to be an equal. He has no equal energy. That's not him. That's why he fucked a woman who could never do shit to him, could never take nothing from him, and allowed her to keep the baby. But I also feel like he has like a very weird like Madonna horror thing. Like when he made that song Madonna, I was like, sweetie, because I already knew something about you. But that whole Madonna horse shit is real, bitch. Like, I really think that he only can see women as hoes, a sex worker who's very openly a sex worker, to be the mother of his child. And I don't care if you want to say chose or not, but my thing is this: you know where you nutted. Like, at the end of the day, we want to condemn women for carrying children for 9 months, but baby, what? Where did you shoot that bullet? Where did you shoot that bullet at? Because you knew what time it was. Like, at the end of the day, these men can get vasectomies. They don't want to. If he wanted to be a father to his child and be like a stand-up guy, he would have married the girl. He not marrying her. He keeping her around because, again, he has no choice. He didn't choose to tell us about her. He had no choice. So again, we have to consider that Lois Keys, she's protected because she's white, and because we know about her. Had she remained in the shadows, who knows? But I feel like I think he's a Virgo Scorp cusp. I think he has Scorpio placements, but I believe he is a Virgo. If I'm wrong, that's fine. But there's a reason I believe that, and I don't think it's out of nowhere. I think he has prominent Virgo and Scorpio placements between me and you. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure his Venus is in Virgo. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying, and I'm pretty sure his sun sign is just on. No, because it would be Sag. Yeah. Mm, no. Yeah. 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 Again, people can feel differently. People can look into his chart and if I'm fucked up. I think she might have put her down to hell. I'm just saying, like, you nutted, babe. And then also, like, just the way that she's operating, I feel like she wanted to leave. I'm not saying you can't quit. I'm just saying it's always there. Like, I feel like it's much different if you're full service, you're working on the phone. There's porn of her. So I just feel like with that being said, I don't think that he ever learned how to value a woman in a real way, because the way he talks about sex workers is so fascinating. Like, he talks about how he feels like because of the way he talks about strippers, right? Like, he made some remark in one of his songs about how he sees strippers as like angels and virgins and shit. And there's a part of me that thinks he thinks like that because you cannot do anything with a stripper unless they really want to, because they're protected. They're protected sex workers in a way that most sex workers are protected. And then you have to also consider most people on the pole are smaller women, right? So they're more feminine already, seemingly. They can do incredible gymnastics, so they seem very strong, obviously, but they're also seeming very soft and delicate at the same time. I think about the way he talks about sex workers in his music, and I'm not surprised that, like, his baby mother was a sex worker. I'm not surprised because, again, I think when he thinks of a wholesome woman, or he thinks of like wholesome, or, and I'm not trying to shit on anybody who's a sex worker because I can be a wholesome person, but I have been a sex worker. That's part of my experience. And I'm not saying that that should stop you from finding love or having children. What I'm saying is that the way that that shit rolled out, it was not intentional. And I feel like he's a very intentional artist. He doesn't drop all the time. He very much hops on people that he likes. Like, I just feel like the way he operates is very strategic. So the baby wasn't actually whoever, I know, but no, that shit was. There's also part of me that's like, even wondering if that's set up too. Cause I feel like Pusha T never fucking recovered from that shit, and I just think about how he is the superior artist, but people really look at him crazy for what he did. I mean, you know what? When you're a sex worker, don't nobody know that like a sex worker. Like, as someone who was a fat sex worker, it is harder. It's not easier. People devalue fat sex workers in a way that is funny as hell, because it's like, you love this fat pussy, bitch. That's why you're here. But a lot of fat sex workers, not all, but a lot, do not know how to value themselves accurately in the space, because we're comparing ourselves to the thinner counterparts, not realizing, baby, we're a niche. In fact, we should be more expensive. It should be harder for you to get some fat pussy, bitch. Because outside, you're not valuing it appropriately. The price should go up. But a lot of fat sex workers are under the pressure of the skinnier ones. How can we be more expensive than the bitches that are like taking the photos? And it's like we're literally existing in a hostage position. And I feel like we're talking about pay discrepancy all the time. Like people mad at Taraji, and it's bizarre because it's like ain't no white bitches mad, right? Like the white bitches are chilling. They're getting their Netflix coin or whatever. Like it too, bitch. They was all talking. A sex worker when for the girls. Because back in the day, you had to go out your way to find a sex worker. Now, raised them fucked up drag. That's all I gotta say. It's people in titties. Exactly. And I appreciate you for saying that, but it's not easy to level up as a sex worker because again, like if you're a fat sex worker, I'm not saying that women don't pay for sex work. They do. However, a lot of it needs to be said. Women desiring men who are treating them appropriately, women desiring men that treat them right, it does change how our industry goes sex workers. The whole trip life, but that women online and they decide I don't need to get a wife or a girlfriend because I'm getting my sexual needs met by these sex workers. And so I feel like that's another you women sexually and minimal companionship. And so they're okay with a $1 a month or whatever. Like it's really happening. Like they're on me. They start emotionally like just letting me know how they're doing. Like they want a partner to be with someone and for like honestly therapy titties. That's what the pick me energy, the male identified energy, is big. And then the problems because that man really wants a woman for. And so maybe he an asshole, he be doing all that. Call a bitch that got him in his like some of these like are not emotionally and so they're experiencing a lot of things when they're with a grown woman turning into a mom fast enough. And then there's some women who they've been the mama. A man is choosing them to be Minaj. What's the point of her being an offender? What's the point of her being with a rapist and a murderer? What's the point of that? What's the point of giving that man a child? I love the video so much, but like, what was the point of that? And so again, like people will create the fucking terrible shit that they don't want to deal with. Like Nicki Minaj talk about bums. Like Nicki Minaj talk about broke men. And why did she get with him? Like I just don't get it. It's just like it's like there's such a conversation happening like what kind of men we want, right? What kind of men we want to be with? What kind of men are really there's like ASAP Rocky. Like, it's crazy. People genuinely. But I do and people want to say it's love. People can say it's love. That's okay. I want people because again, because they want respect. We don't know these people. We don't know people. And again, what they've shown us, and he's shown us that he don't deserve what they've shown us, and he's shown us that he don't deserve. And with being said, ASAP has shown us he don't deserve Rihanna. With that being said, the more young women don't do that shit, the more damn